best 2 out of 3. So we might get 3 games today, and that would be really fun to have a full day of these two playing SMZ3, 2 of the best, and we do get them starting.
Yeah, if it does go to 3 games, I mean, even at this point, just it's rare you play this many seeds back to back to back like this, especially with this being such a long format. So just honestly, just going to be able to keep these seeds straight is going to be a pretty big skill and something that like really don't have a lot of practice in. So it's going to be interesting to see, especially in games 2 and 3, if there's any sort of like weird mistakes or weird routing choices because it's just like they think they're on a different seed.
Yeah, yeah, that can happen. Okay, now we see 20 rupees on Lake Hylia Island. Always the first check you do in SMZ3, even though you can't get it. And we're not going to pick those up later. Both going to Uncle's house, picking up Piece of Heart. Identically going up, Osse decides to check his map. We see a green pendant at Eastern and a couple crystals otherwise.
Pendant Eastern has been a theme this weekend.
It has. Yeah, I do like the Uncle start here because in SMZ3, it's a little bit more, it's a little less guaranteed you're going to find bombs or money for bombs. So doing a few extra checks before you go into Kakariko where you need those bombs is useful.
Yeah, the SM dilutes the item pool here in Link to the Past, and we get bombs right away. But especially like if you see Vanilla Link to the Past, the delayed Kakariko I think is a lot less powerful here because you're just less likely to spike a bottle or a flute early.
Oh, and a nice lamp for an early fire source. So no dark rooms for us today.
Yeah, with just the 3 bombs, you still really couldn't have done escape right there.
No, that's not enough. Yeah, if you score a weapon, a sword or a hammer or something, then escape becomes viable right away. And azder having those 3 bombs is going to skip the lumberjack check. He tends to do that when he has resources already, and we'll do what Osse is doing and do some tree pulls and try and get more bombs if he doesn't.
Yeah, but there's the tree pull over here and the crab, so like I don't think that makes a difference. You get both either way, and then he gets a sword. That's nice.
Yeah, exactly. Like if azder's if he needs the bombs or whatever, he'll go up and check the lumberjack and do the tree pulls on the way, like Osse's doing. Since he has 3 bombs from that early from the Uncle, he's not going to bother.
He's got the tree pull right here and the crab, so going to lumberjack doesn't help.
I know you're not a fan of the early lumberjack check. We do see a moon pearl in the forest though.
Anyway.
Yeah, we have a sword, a moon pearl, and a lamp already. So we're just another sword or a cape away from Aga. Although in SMZ3, it's a lot easier to break around Aga. So we'll see if either of them get baited into that.
Yeah, it's definitely possible, but it really just needs your hammer and mitts to be in Dark World. That you pretty much have to end up doing it at some point.
Yep. Or behind the Dark World, yeah.
Yeah.
And supers, and an E-tank, and another E-tank. Piece of heart. And 50 rupees, so far not a whole lot. Some nice, ammo and pickups that'll be useful when they go into SM, but nothing super interesting. azder does his map check. More missile. Actually, that might be the first missile pack, but And a shovel. Ew. At least that's easy to path in early. So a whole lot of ammo and E-tanks so far. No power bombs to be seen yet. Those power bombs all important because even once you get that morph ball, it's tough to want to go into Super Metro until you have at least 1 or 2 packs. And we do see a power bomb sitting there on the bottle vendor.
Yeah, even with just one power bomb pack, if you wanted to go from ship straight to Kraid, you're always going to have enough. As long as you don't waste any in any silly situation, you'll have enough to get to Kraid and get out. So that's a nice, easy way to open up. Where you generally need a little bit more for Brinstar. Usually like 15 is the break-even point people are looking for.
And more supers. And Osse can use his last bomb to farm some more. Azder just going to go without, hoping there's nothing on the race game.
I forget about this hut all the time, but yeah, it's a nice farm spot if you're really resource short, where you don't have money and you still need bombs.
Yeah, nothing on the library. And a plasma beam at race game that Azder's not going to be able to get right now.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate that he doesn't have any bombs. That's going to be a pretty early advantage for Osse. We'll see if Azder ever comes back to get that. The most likely place is with Mirror after Village of Outcast checks.
Like, it's one of those things that's nice to have, but it's not going to hurt him too much now. He did just farm a bomb, so he could go back for it right now if he wants.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect him to go for it until he finds Charge. Once he finds Charge, it will actually speed up some fights significantly, so it may be worth it. So we may see a fairly late pickup, but it's going to make Osse's early. Well, I guess okay, Osse's over here. It will make Osse's early game a lot easier to deal with. So that's really unfortunate, honestly.
And to be fair, it's not unusual for Azder to not even turn on that plasma beam right away when he gets it and linked to the pass. So he knows where it is. He can go get it if he wants it. Like you said, ideally he can pick it up with the mirror when he does dig game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when and if he ever goes back for that. Now, Osse looks. I think he's just blind going for this. Correct? He can walk around.
Yeah. Yeah, for Osse, I don't know if I like this. I personally will blind check it, but there are a lot more things that I would want to pick up. Whereas Osse doesn't need a lot of things that I would pick up, so it's kind of surprised that he doesn't check it first. But he will save time because he's going to want it.
I would do what Osse's doing here with his bomb, and because he has a sword, so that takes care of your big early bomb expenditures, mini Moldorm Cave. But if you have a weapon, it takes care of that. So I don't mind the blind right there. There's a couple different factors I looked at, but yeah, it's not a big deal either way.
No, not really. And we will see what's in Mini Moldorm Cave right now. Alright, let's see what we got. We have another heart container, missiles, heart piece, missiles, and rupees. So a whole lot of nothing in Mini Moldorm Cave. Yeah, and without another bomb, Azder's not going to go to Ice Rod Cave right now.
Why do you talk to NPC first? So weird.
Osse going to head to the back of the escape with that glove. Azder's going to go to the front. Back escape with nothing. Azder might be thinking he'll take this all the way to the back, but we now know he can't because Osse just picked up the key. And he'll get Dark Cross from the back with that lamp. It'll be pretty easy.
Yeah, I like Osse's plans here a little better. Do the back; it's really quick to do, and then you can sort of tell how valuable the front is.
Yeah, I like doing the back first as well.
And the back doesn't couple in with anything. Also, shout outs to the wonderful tracking program that's not actually tracking this glove. I promise you, at tracked. It's just not showing it.
Yeah, Miss Metroid doing the tracking for us, doing the hard work behind the scenes. I assure you, she has clicked the button. And Osse gonna go do his South Shore checks. We'll get his mini Moldorm cave that has nothing in it. We'll see if he checks Ice Rod cave. He's got the bombs for it. As you're, of course, leaving the green. Oh, he wanted to leave that green guard alive, but now just saving, quitting because no way to death warp quickly there.
Yeah, but again, he's got the glove he can do from the back.
Yeah, and I think that makes more sense. He knows the key's got to be back here, so
yeah,
or
I think
in Dark Cross.
He probably just realized that as soon as he killed him, and he got the free bombs. That was nice.
And both runners going to get nothing in these checks. Because really, we haven't seen a whole lot yet. We got the glove, the moon pearl, and the sword. And the lamp. So some nice items, but not really enough to tell us anything. And it's always a little weird when you have that glove. So you're missing a second glove for Dark World access, or plus you have the sword lamp, or you're also missing that one other item for Aga access. And we're going to see some fake flippering action from Osse here. Doesn't have the money for Zora. I'm not a fan of this play without having the money for Zora, but at least he will be able to get 2 items here over at the Waterfall Ferry because he's got that Moon Pearl.
Yeah, and he's really isolating Ice Rod Cave now, especially with having done all these checks. The problem is if you're relatively aggressive here early, where you're gonna end up happening is you're gonna have like Eastern, you're gonna have Ice Rod, you're gonna have Agina, and they're all in different corners of the map.
Yep.
And terrible to walk to by itself.
And we do see a quake there that may or may not be needed. I didn't see what was on the ledge. Azder, on the other hand, is going to go up to Death Mountain. Looks like he's going to do the lumberjack check now. It's not a terrible time to do it, although a lot of times you'll see runners will just wait till they have boots before they check this.
Yeah, it's one of those things like it combos in with the Bonk Rocks checks, and you have the boots, so it's faster. So and that information never really. There's very few situations where that information would help you specifically.
Yeah, I mean, you think about last night's race between Osse and Wild Anaconda. There were mitts on the lumberjack, and Wild Anaconda knew that pretty much from the beginning, and it didn't do him any good because it took him so long to find the boots. Whereas Osse didn't even check the location until he had the boots. And once he did, it was, oh, hey, mitts, let's go kill Aga.
All it does is it replaces the item that's on Lumberjack with the boots for what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So, it would be the same if mitts were just in Mama Turtle last night. So it's not information positive in any way.
And
the only situation would help is if it's an Aga seed. Yeah. And there's something up there, not to bother putting off Aga, because sometimes you'll do that. You want to full clear everything. That's really the only situation where it ever actually help you, which is pretty rare.
And we saw 20 rupees on the old man, and Osse picked up some power bombs in Ice Rod Cave, so Azder's not going to be hurt by not checking that anytime soon. Azder is going to do the one check he can do in SM over here. And the hammer.
Yeah, that's a good one. World. Again, our Dark World access in this early check. This really hurt Wild last night. It is kind of a annoying check because you have the 2 transitions that you have to do. You can get the scout as well, but it's generally just worth it. There's so few checks in this initial Death Mountain area. There's the old man. There's inside Spectacle Rock. There's the scout up top, and then there's this. So if the seed gives it to you, there's so few things that are here, you're kind of always priced into checking it, even though it's relatively long.
It does mean we aren't going to see Aga 1 at this point, because we do have full Dark World access with that hammer. See bombs on Spec Rock, so nothing useful there.
A lot of our seeds
bottle
this weekend have been Dark World access before Moon Pearl, which has been interesting. Or before Morph Ball, excuse me.
Interesting. I'm not sure I agree with Azder's decision to not pick up that bottle. Let's give him the sick kid check. Chances are he finds a bottle elsewhere, but you never know.
especially with Darkworld access, he's gonna go over to Kakariko sooner than later for
Yep.
Thieves Town. So yeah, might as well have just picked it up.
I mean, it's a bit, it's a bit of a time sink to pick it up. It's not super fast, but I didn't quite see everything. I did see a pendant swamp, which I know for me is as a non-hover, that always scares me when I see a pendant swamp and no hook shot.
Azder can hover, right? I've never actually.
He can passively hover.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he's like me. We can do it if we have to.
Yeah, like you won't see him hovering hookshot cave most likely. He'll try it, but if he's forced to hover over to get to past Moldorm 2, it might take him 10 tries, but he'll get it eventually. Osse will just do the Moldorm bounce if it comes to it.
A what bounce? Excuse me.
The Moldorm bounce. I'm actually not sure what Osse's skill in hovering is, but I think he at least can do it passively as well.
He's good at it. Like most.
Oh, there you go. The other pendant, as we see on Osse's screen, was at Skull Woods. So. And like you say, it looks like Azure is going to go into the Village of Outcasts. We'll see if he does any kind of... He likes to do the Skullwoods dip sometimes. We'll see if he does that. It being a pendant, he's not going to finish it even if he finds a fire rod, I don't think. But right now, probably headed eventually towards Thieves Town. And Osse going over towards Pyramid and maybe towards Pod. That's an interesting choice. And gets a small key, which is nice when you get that small key because you can follow it without stealing a key. And a bow, bow on the pyramid. Oh boy! So that pyramid ledge is going to be big again.
Yeah, we know Azure likes to avoid that pyramid ledge.
He sure did. He sure did yesterday.
I think our tracking program was having an issue. Do you know what the red crystals were?
I didn't see that.
But yeah, one of the easy ways to clean up the pyramid is with the fat fairy checks, obviously. Also in SMZ3, I like to do it with going to Meridia because you can go up and fake flipper up in like the catfish area.
Mm-hmm.
So I find pyramid a little easier to clean up here than in like a vanilla A Link to the Past because of that portal.
Yeah, I also kind of like the way Osse did it, where he used the portal over near Flute 4 instead of the one near Flute 5. And the fact that Azure doesn't have a flute makes it more likely he would do it from there as well, if and when he decides to go to Pod. Well, eventually he'll decide to go to Pod. But yeah, Pod fully in logic with that bow. We have the hammer, we have the lamp.
Yeah, so this can be early big advantage for Osse. I mean, in the situation last night, we were shocked that nothing was really behind that morph ball. It's a lot easier for nothing to be behind bow.
Yeah, exactly.
Bow can only lock 2 items, honestly, with where it is, or 0 if both Helma and Armos are dungeon items. So yeah, it's really just it can be pretty swingy how locking bow is. So entrance of Pod, not bow locked right now. So all this can be accessed without the bow.
We do get a bumper ledge check from Azure. We see 20 rupees. Not going to go back for that. And we'll see a whole lot of keys on Osse's side for a bit. As you're going to do Village of Outcast checks, probably into Thieves Town. I mean, in general, I like the choice that azder made better, just because you can full clear Thieves Town. When Osse went up towards pod, he did not know he could full clear pod, but it's worked out really well for Osse to find that bow. He might have chosen to mimic clip if he'd not gotten that bow. I don't know. I think he did pick up the bottle, but he doesn't have anything in it, so he can't use that to break pod.
I mean, I think if he didn't get the bow, he wouldn't have gone over to pod right now.
Yeah, and that's true. He may have made a different decision.
Yeah, I think azder's play makes a little more. Just again, I always feel like in these, just the most valuable thing in these seeds is doing crystal dungeons.
Yep.
Thieves Town always being accessible as soon as you get to Dark World, possibly with the one item locked behind hammer, but with the hammer, like, there's really no reason to put it off.
No, absolutely not.
And then if you go south to Hype Cave, you can just continue going up to Pyramid and
azder, first one to the morph ball.
Yeah, I think azder's first seed had the morph ball there
There
too.
was a seed. Yeah, I was gonna say there was a seed that had the morph ball in Thieves Town. I don't know if it was that chest, but it was definitely in the front four. That was bad timing there for Osse on that bomb. Falling is okay, but you got to get past those blocks before they go up again.
Honestly, what I do here is I just throw the bomb and then I fall into the pit, and you show back up at the hole.
Yep. Yeah, we do see a bombos in Thieves Town. Again, another one of those medallions that may or may not matter. And a mushroom in pod. So then if you're azder, do you just go into SM after this?
I mean, I would probably finish up.
Yeah, I mean, you do the South Dark, the
Yeah.
big game and Stumpy and stuff, but
Yeah, but yeah, I generally like. I don't see too many people do, but like I almost always start with Kraid, especially if you're lower on power bombs. Get you those red tower checks.
Yep.
Get you a couple extra checks. If you have morph ball a little early, also get you Death Mountain access. But they obviously have it already. So yeah, I like doing that. Get you a boss. So and generally I prefer putting off Brinstar Loop a little bit, just because you want those power bombs. It is a little dangerous, can be a little slow. You preferably have speed, so you don't isolate two locations down there. So I don't like beelining the Brinstar Loop, but yeah, I would start heading towards SM sooner than later here.
yeah, I don't think the mushroom seemed to be the only thing we got out of pod so far, which of course may or may not be anything. So Osse's just going to go to the back and finish this off. Wants a couple extra regular bombs, picks those up under those pots. In Thieves Town, of course, having the morph ball and the bombo, so one required item, another possibly required item. Osse will get there. I suspect he'll do these checks that azder's doing right now as soon as he's done with pod. It looks like we will have an item on blind. All right, so far on script, first round's pretty easy.
Yeah, my advice always.
Job. Yeah, nice job staying on script for the second round.
If you're trying to learn it, just do it one phase at a time. That first phase is 100% free to get, and you get 4 free hits.
And we see a mail upgrade. So Thieves Town having a required item, a luxury item, and a maybe required item. So that's actually a lot for a Crystal Thieves Town. It feels a lot more like what you get in a Pendant Thieves Town sometimes. Meanwhile, Osse in his Helmosaur fight.
Nice. Just the helmet pin can be annoying sometimes, but you can sometimes just get a couple quick hammers. Osse cleaned it up very nicely there.
Yeah, essentially doing the essentially with the AD loadout with the fighter sword and the hammer there.
Yeah, 6 hearts is the exact same as 5 hearts for that fight. And I don't know. Does he? What mail does he?
He's still on green. Yeah, as you're getting the blue mail on blind. So yeah, Osse doesn't have a mail upgrade yet.
Yeah, very nicely done. That's actually a pretty tricky fight.
Okay, we dig up a bomb capacity upgrade in the dig game for azder, and he may never go back and get that plasma beam since he doesn't have a mirror to go get it right now. And we'll see what Stumpy has for us. Silvers, okay.
Well,
that'll be nice for azder when he gets that bow.
Yeah, well, it'd be nice for Osse when he gets this.
When he gets, he'll get the silvers too, because he's going to do all the same checks here that azder did. He might not go into Skullwoods like azder did. azder going to go into SM now. Pretty decent loadout, except only 5 power bombs. He's got. I know Osse picked up 1 extra pack because he found one in Ice Rod Cave. Does mean he can't check Gauntlet. It's not in logic anyway with this item loadout, but a lot of runners will just check it anyway. But with 5 power bombs, you can't get all the way through. And now he gets some power bombs, so now he could go back and do Gauntlet. Don't know if he will or not. Gauntlet pretty slow with this loadout. Now he's just gonna keep on going and check 230 missiles. And Osse is gonna do the Skullwoods checks.
You could actually just exit right here and reset to go to Gauntlet, which would actually be pretty slick routing.
Yeah, he could. He got a book though. At least it's an early book. Those late books can be really annoying. You'll be able to pass a lot of that stuff in. And just missiles at Terminator. And he's going to check the back of Gauntlet. See if there's anything of worth there.
Yeah, it always feels bad because if there's nothing here, then Gauntlet E-Tank is pretty isolated.
Yeah, and there was nothing there. I guess our rupees and a piece of heart. You're not coming back for those. And meanwhile, Osse pretty much following in azder's footsteps in terms of his Village of Outcasts, Skullwoods, and Thieves Town checks. There's another bottle. I bet he'll probably pick that one up. I think that's a little freer than the one he left behind earlier.
What was the one he left behind? I didn't.
It was on Spec Rock Cave.
Oh, okay, yeah. I probably would have loved that, honestly. I think about it.
With bottles, it's so tough. You never know if there's going to be another one available, and you never know if Sick Kid's going to actually have anything. So it is a bit of a gamble to go ahead. Oh, and a nice Master Sword here. It's a little bit of a gamble to leave it behind as he did, but definitely paid off. Gets the bottle here, and he gets out and then falls back down. That was a shame.
Yeah, he looks like he accidentally morphed there, so I think that just kind of threw him off a little. He did get out, which is kind of impressive. But
Yeah, that's hard to do.
maybe
Osse
he
keeps
was
up his morph.
trying to end up in crouch so he could jump higher. Maybe that was on purpose. I'm not sure.
But we are definitely I mean, 40 supers, 30 minutes in. Ammo is just not likely going to be an issue here. And it's kind of interesting because the seeds that you guys all played yesterday, it seemed like ammo was a lot tighter than usual on these things. Usually, by the time you get the Turian, like the charge beam is almost an insult when if you pick it up late because you get so much ammo. And Azur's gonna have plenty of power bombs to do the big pink area. I doubt he goes retro. He'll probably take this straight down to Kraid. The retro area. He doesn't have anything. This really isn't enough power bombs to do that whole area.
Yeah, which means that's why I'm never quite a fan of this going from pink to Kraid, because it just kind of isolates. It isolates Red Tower and it isolates retro. It feels like to me. I guess you can kind of do both of those together, but there's kind of like a big gap between the two of them of where there's actually items.
Yeah, I do that route sometimes. Either on my way to Wreck Ship or on my way back from Wreck Ship.
Yeah, I'm just thinking now, the main problem I always have is I generally isolate X-Ray because of my very early Kraid, and this routing would prevent that. You could clean it up later.
And Azure doesn't use Moonwalk here, so he does a slightly different setup, but he gets it right away. Actually, I'm not even sure he really does a setup, because every time he does this, I swear he says, "Oh, I should really learn the normalized setup," and he gets it like first try anyway.
There's a normalized setup for that one?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Moonwalk wouldn't even help you with that one because you have to jump up to the top, the high jump one.
No, the Moonwalk does help you set it up. There's other ways to do it without a high jump.
Without jumping up to the door?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to jump. Yeah. Well, with Moonwalk, you just back yourself. To the wall, and then you do the jump from there, and jump onto the ledge. But there are other ways to get yourself into that position too. That's right by the wall if you don't have Moonwalk on. I use Moonwalk, so I don't know what they are, but I've seen people do them.
I usually just before I used it, I just got hit into the wall and didn't move.
Yeah, that's one of the ways, I believe. I suspect we will see Azure go down. Sometimes he likes to do the early Wreck Ship, but oh no, never mind. He is going up. Maybe this is going to be an early Wreck Ship play. Wreck Ship not in Logic in normal mode, because CWJ not in Logic. But Azure more than capable of doing it. And frankly, it's a rare, even hard mode seed that actually requires a CWJ.
Yeah, the thing of Wreck Ship's kind of like the Bren Loop, where there's that one item locked by speed. So, and in normal, speed can be your access to Wreck Ship.
Yep.
So you see a lot of people putting off Wreck Ship specifically because of that.
I suspect that if Azure does decide to do Wreck Ship at this point, it will be the clear the bottom and do the top later if he needs to come back. I don't know that he'll full clear it.
Yeah, that is always an option as well. Yeah, I can't imagine him not going there with this route.
And he picks up a bug catching net.
Oh, this may be the route where you do this loop to wreck ship, and then you do retro down to Kraid.
Yep,
I think,
you
yeah.
might do that.
I always gotta love the going too fast, so you didn't actually lay the power bomb.
Oh, hallelujah! We don't have an ice rod hunt today.
He's gotta be careful. He can't fall too many more times. With
No,
these
he's only got 2
bombs.
power bombs.
I mean, what's gonna happen is if he gets down to
You can go back and refill at the ship.
0. Yeah, he's just not gonna try it again.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know, it's like he has one more shot at this before he has to reboot.
Yeah, another situation where no moonwalk is hurting him. This is the reason why I turned moonwalk on when I learned new route, specifically to be able to get this set. And then of course now I just main bomb jump. So
Oh, it's 3 in a row. Okay. He's
yeah,
gonna
there's
have
no
to
way
go,
he's gonna try
yeah,
it. Yeah,
he
no way he's
has
gonna
to
try it
refill.
again.
You can't risk this soft lock here. But kind of nice here. We do have, since we do have the ice rod, and we now know where all 3 medallions are, although neither runner has both. It is nice that we don't have to worry about. Those are kind of the trolliest items to have to look for. I don't think we've really seen the really bad ice rod hunt in this tournament, but we did have the medallion hunt yesterday. That was certainly an interesting one. Yeah,
I think my seed was the worst ice rod and was just in purple chest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of coming from some of the ice rod hunts we've seen. If anyone that's been watching the Link to the Past randomizer league, we've seen some nasty ice rod hunts there.
Yeah, I mean the ice rod hunts can be even worse than this because it's 2 games.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Azder's gonna give up on the wreck ship for now. I think I like this call. He's gonna just do retro, probably like you said, do retro into Kraid.
Yeah, he's basically just skipping the Fantoon part of this route.
He could scout out criteria supers, but that wastes a couple extra power bombs, so I think it's a good choice not to. Plus, I always think that it's kind of nice to have 2 items in this area because he's gonna leave. He's not gonna be able to do waterway either. So now you've got two locations that you're leaving behind instead of 1. And we see another bottle in Saha's claws. I didn't see what the other 2 items were, but yeah, bottle's not an issue.
Yeah, I've come around on the scout just because it's not even just 2 items. Just like you're gonna have to check waterway later anyways, and it's like you might as well just check criteria supers when you have the item.
Oh, and a mirror at the morph ball. I believe that's where it was for Azder yesterday.
Yeah, I thought that was. Why is he not picking it up?
Oh, he's gonna come back. He's just gonna go back
coming.
that way. Yeah, he'll get it.
Right.
Like if it had been high jump boost or something, he might have, or speed booster to make his trip into Billy Mays easier. Then I could definitely see grabbing that first. But a mirror is not going to help you in SM at all. So he'll just get it back, get it on the way out.
That's a good point. I was thinking either pick it up or don't scout it at all. But yeah, it could be something that's mildly useful over here.
And we are going to see a gauntlet check from Osse as he makes his first trip into SM. And of course, he had the extra power bomb pack, so he didn't have to pick it up elsewhere. We see powder, so that's
Oof,
that's an interesting one.
Yeah, if Azder does decide to clean that up, he's gonna have to make the call whether to keep. Because a lot of times with that cleanup, you'll just reset if it's nothing. Powder is a really annoying thing to get.
Yeah, I think that's one you keep. Not only, I mean, it's a good luxury item for ferry refills and such. Plus, you do have that 1 check, but it might be a while before he ever gets it because he's already checked the back of gauntlet. So
these guys don't need powder, but it definitely makes A Link to the Past pretty brain dead. It covers up all your mistakes.
it really does. And just a peace heart on the other end. As you're using the super +1 pea shooter shot to kill those big side hoppers. A lot of people don't realize it just takes.
Did not realize.
The super and a pea shooter shot will kill those. So
Like 302 energy. Like,
Yeah, I know, right? And we are going to get the X-ray isolation, like you talked about earlier. It's always a tough one.
yeah, as or at least delayed it long enough. They had a better chance of being able to get. I mean, he could get it here. You can get it with nothing. Osse is kind of known for doing that. We'll
Yeah,
see if he
Azure knows how to do the deboost. He's done them before. I don't think he particularly likes to do it.
pretty slow is the thing.
It
If
is
you,
definitely slow.
especially if you're at very low health, because you also have to deboost back to
Yep.
preserve health if you don't have too much. And those spikes do a good chunk of damage
Yeah.
without
Oh yeah.
any suits at all.
And we see a charge beam. So okay. So we'll see if Azure goes back for that plasma beam later on. That charge beam making it a little more valuable.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't think Osse again hasn't turned it on yet. Plasma would help with like the side hoppers and stuff. He could preserve some of his ammo, but like the fact he's got so much ammo, it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
This ammo is just so high already. And Azure, it looks like he was trying to stop himself from getting that rupee, but it was too late. He already committed to the jump.
Always annoyed when I come in here with one power bomb because I like the power bomb setup for Kraid. Plus, it does the lag reduction. But like, I've definitely had the situation where Kraid has dropped me 0 power bombs, so I never lay it if I only have one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, you won't be soft locked because you can farm up. There is a small percent chance those Zebs will drop a power bomb, but it is a small percent chance, so you can be in a bit of a farming hell situation, which is never fun. As you're getting a nice 2 missile 3 super quick kill. And I don't think I saw any power bombs. No, he got one. And just a heart piece for his trouble.
Yeah. Although I guess the counter argument to doing the P shoot plus the super is if you just do missile and super, it's just one menu selection. And if you have this many missiles, who cares?
Yeah, that's a good point. Or even just 2 supers, but yeah. But you know, if I always think of item select, item cancel as a very underrated skill in this game, and that'll help you out with that super plus P shooter shot.
Yeah, it really depends on your layout and honestly your hand size. I hit select with my left, like what I hit with the L button with. I use that finger, I guess pointer finger, to hit select.
Ah, gotcha.
So it can be, depending on what I'm doing on the D-pad, it can be kind of tricky.
Yep, I use my left thumb on the select button. So
yeah, but then you can't move. that's the
you do it quick enough, it doesn't matter.
I mean, it depends, right? Some like Terminator, right? You absolutely cannot stop moving for those strats.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, we're going to do a peek here. This is not in logic since we don't have 2 booster orb area. Azure sees a power bomb. Would probably like it, but definitely not worth the trouble it would take to go get it. I'm actually a pretty big fan of doing this little sequence break. A lot of times people think about sequence breaking as, trying to score the big item early, but a lot of it is just, efficiency of routing. Not having to worry about this area later when it is in logic is just a nice thing to not have to think about. I don't think he saved it though, so he's gonna have to get out of here. And he gets an E-tank, so he'll be fine.
Freer than it already was.
Yeah, I mean, he was fine. He had plenty of energy to get out, but that E-tank just, completely makes it free. I mean, he's got 7 E-tanks. Yesterday in his second match, he had 3 total the entire game. It looks like he'll get the iceless escape here with the mock ball. Very nice. That is not easy to do. And I'll check the rest of the high jump boots. That's about all he can do. Even with a various suit, he can't get over to Bubble Mountain right now. With no movement items, no high jump, no speed booster, no space jump, no bombs. No ice beam. Ice beam would do it. Spring ball would do it. Although ice beam and spring ball, I don't think are in logic for the normal mode for that area. And Osse is going to do the X-ray check.
Oh, he had a little trouble there. So
Looks like he's going to bail on it. I wonder if he'll try it again.
Yeah, see, this is the problem, is that it's you only have one shot at it, and it's a very long room. So you have to reset it up. It takes forever, and it's just a very slow strat in general. It looks like he is going to bail on it.
Yeah, I think that's the right call here.
So both our runners trying to make a play and failing at it. So we'll be interested to see if either of those come back to haunt them.
I was just going to rescout the... Okay, he remembers before he actually sees the bottle. Well, maybe that might have been a little bit of muscle memory. Just, you get in here like, oh yeah, I got to check this. Oh wait, I already did.
I've done that so many times. Just...
And he's going to be able to get this item at the ether tablet, which is nice, so you don't have to backtrack to get it later.
Yeah, hair full clearable right now. Again, just prioritizing these crystal dungeons. We do get ice beam out of it.
Okay, so that'll allow him, if he so desires, to get over to Bubble Mountain. I don't think it's going to push him that way at all.
Yeah, the flip side of having ice beam is it's honestly gets in the way more than it helps a lot.
Oh, a lot,
especially
when you just have that pea shooter.
Yeah, but they have so much ammo; they're generally just going to be mirror things with missiles or supers if needed.
And already a tempered sword. This is really good for Azder. It's funny because most people will be like, "Well, I want to have a hook shot to do this, so I can Herapod." Azder's not a big fan of the Herapod. He can do it if he needs to, but generally won't go for it. And no hook shot means no Herapod, so you just have to do this the long way.
Oh, he doesn't main it because it is faster to do if you're quick at it.
Yeah, if you're quick at it.
I'm surprised because it's really no different than hammer jump. So
yeah, he learned it for the spoiler log tournament, and I think he hasn't practiced it since. Because it was super useful in the spoiler log tournament, because you can just look and see if Hera had anything, and if it didn't, you just did the Herapod. All right, Azder gets his big key. We'll see what Osse's going to do next. I suspect Osse's going to be following a lot of Azder's footsteps at this point. So we're pretty darn even. Azder looking ahead, but he hasn't done pod yet, doesn't have the bow yet. And honestly, for Azder, in terms of getting, because he's going to get gated into pod pretty soon, depending on what items he finds here. The worst thing he could find right now, in some sense, is a flute, because it might get him to skip that pyramid check before he goes to pod. He might just go straight flute 5, if he wants to try and do that.
Nothing was in pod, right?
A mushroom.
A mushroom, right.
Which
so, we haven't seen
pending.
Cleaned up yet. and we're pending that powder too. Yeah, Osse's gonna have both of the. He's gonna have both of the
remaining fetch quests, and Azder has neither.
Although we haven't actually seen the sick kid turn in, right?
No, we haven't. Azder didn't have his bottle yet when he went over there. I don't believe Osse checked it when he was there. And Azder making quick work of Moldorm with that tempered sword, just one slash and one spin, and Hera with nothing. So we'll see East Death Mountain now.
Yeah, I feel like there's got to be something over. Like, what are we really missing at this point? The wreck ship obviously add a logic, the X-ray add a logic. So the two checks that like were tried to go for it and abandoned actually can't be our next progression. There could be something eventually.
Yeah, we could find a suit here. We could find, hookshot. We could find a cane, fire rod. Cane and hookshot don't really do a whole lot for us right now.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably a suit with just because they open up. Like when you kind of get boiled down like this, the next thing is probably going to be something that opens up a lot.
Yeah, so
or it's going to be something that opens up almost nothing, which will then give you the thing that opens up a lot.
Probably, I'm guessing either a suit or something that opens up wreck ship.
It's suit or mitts, honestly, or I guess wreck ship. So speed, grapple,
and sick kid with just 300 rupees. So there's one fetch quest taken care of.
Gravity by itself doesn't unlock wreck ship in normal, right? Because you can't jump high enough.
It does So the way that works, and in fact, a Maniacal played a seed in the SG Live qualifiers where this came up. It basically takes you from the back door in logic.
Oh,
no. No, well, these guys will just gravity jump it. They won't.
Yeah, no one. No one would actually do that, but that does. That's how
the logic works, and it's just a reserve tank. So if Azure never finds that powder, it will just be one luxury item he doesn't have.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have Varia, so Ellen Hell Run's still on the table, so every E-tank is valuable right now.
Yep. And by on the table, we mean that these guys are good enough to do it, not that they would be in logic.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And these guys will do it. I mean, these guys will absolutely want. If Vary's in a really bad spot, yeah, these guys will 100% Hell Run Lower Norfair.
I had a seed that I was practicing.
And there's that flute.
Both rods were in Norfair, one in Lower Norfair, and then this Varia suit was in Totorock Big Chest, but like it did not give you a lot of. You only had like 20 power bombs. And I gave it to Osse to see if he was going to hell run it. I did, and I couldn't complete the hell run because I didn't have enough. He ended up getting the Varia suit.
Yeah, and the one thing that Azure does get that flute. I really hope he does scout that pyramid ledge before going into pod this time. With that flute, it's a little less likely he does that. Yeah,
I mean, again, Azure never did the flippers checks, correct?
Correct.
So he could maybe be thinking about like Pyramid Catfish to Zora, although he doesn't have a way right now of doing the he's got Ice Rod, so he can get
Ice Rod?
Yeah, Ice Rod will get you into Waterfall Cave, but it won't get you the ledge item.
Yeah, I don't know.
Of course, he's gonna find the bow, but he doesn't know that like right now.
Well, no, he's only gonna find the bow if he paths this right. If he's gonna, he might go get a bottle.
I'm saying if he does that, he will be able to install it too. But he doesn't know that right now, so it's not actually playing into his. But like he could still get Waterfall Cave, which would be the bulk of it. So
okay, he's floating to 4, so he's gonna check that pyramid ledge first, I think.
Yeah, this could either be, in his mind, this could either be Pyramid Ledge to Catfish, or this could be Pyramid Ledge, and then he's just going to go into Pod.
Yeah, he might be
finding the bow.
Yeah, he's going to find the bow.
I expect the Pod.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or not. We're going.
Oh, he's got a couple mirror checks here first. Bombos and K45, which he didn't get earlier because he didn't have that mirror.
Yeah, mirror late is really annoying because the mirror checks route in very nicely with a bunch of other stuff, but if you get it late, then they become very isolated and they're very bad. Lol. So
Spazer.
The weird thing is that's going to make him less likely to pick up Plasma now because he's at least got charged Spazer, which
if he's gonna pick up Plasma, he's gonna pick it up here. Like he's not gonna ever be anywhere closer because he'll do K45, and then you're not that far away from the Plasma beam.
Yeah, at this point, I feel like I just wouldn't bother, honestly.
Yeah, I could see either argument. We'll see what he chooses to do. If he doesn't pick it up here, then I don't think he ever picks it up. Looks like Osse's going to do the retro Bryn stuff now too, following like we said, kind of following Azure's footsteps.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't do Cave 45 then Bombos, because he could have gone right into Desert. He does have that book.
Yeah, Desert would be an okay play. Desert, of course, may not be completable.
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't generally beeline Desert before you have the boots, because it may not be completable, but like once you kind of exhaust all your good stuff, it becomes a pretty good option because it's potentially completable Crystal Dungeon.
Yep, and he is going to go get that
Depending on
plasma
the
beam.
layout. Well, he's at least doing dig game.
He did do game.
I don't know if he's actually going. He did do gig. Okay, yeah.
He didn't pick up the item, so he would have gotten that bomb capacity upgrade. I think, if I recall what it was, but
I think he would exit through here, but then he remembered he didn't have mitts. I think that was the plan.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you can't actually. You have to actually go through the actual race. You can't actually go ahead and you can't mirror right on top of the item.
Cheat, you can. You can do a teleport up there, and it'll. I don't, unless randomizer blocks that specifically. I'm not sure.
Okay, my understanding was that you couldn't do it. But,
in vanilla, yeah, in like major glitch categories for Hundo, you just teleport
here
up
it is.
Here.
He's going to pod.
Yeah, this isn't going to be unfortunate.
5. So he may just choose to mimic clips. He didn't buy a bottle. Let's see if this will be very unfortunate if he doesn't check that pyramid ledge first.
The one thing I'll say about azder, and this is both good and bad for him, but he definitely does not get the fighting the last war syndrome. Of course, it worked out great for him. He didn't check pyramid, but it's like there's no like, well, it was pyramid last time, so let me just check it. Sometimes that can hurt players because they fight the last war and it's just nothing. So yeah, I'd say overall it's a good mentality, but here it's not going to be great for him, unfortunately. Especially if we see an Eastern play here. Although we haven't seen Eastern at all yet, so could be
something.
Could be the answer. Although it could also be an Armos, which would be bad.
We're running out of stuff, so.
If it's Armos, that's incredibly bad for azder. Especially if he does Eastern here.
Or Green Pendant.
He will last location that at this point.
Osse gonna pick up his mirror now.
The funny thing is in that the beginning of that azder race, we thought the bow was going to be.
I know, right? That bow was
going to be big.
Bad spot too, and it turned out to be nothing.
The game forced you to get it, but it might actually turn out to. Now, did azder do front of escape here?
Yes.
Yeah, he did. So there's even less, because a lot of times you'll do pyramid.
There's like there's no incentive. There's no incentive for him to go back there. And I'm looking at our pyramid fairy crystals. It's Ice Palace and Turtle Rock. So yeah, that's not going to help him any. Now, this being SMZ3, where there are no progressive bows, he may not actually follow the bow lock side. He'd have to mimic clip. He can mimic clip. I've seen him do it really quickly at times. I've seen him do it really slowly at times.
The thing is, like with pod, you generally have to clear all of it anyways. So you might as well just clear out everything here. There could be something else, and it'll at least make it faster later on.
Meanwhile, Osse going back for the X-ray check.
Does get it this time. Very nicely done. He also has, should have enough health where you can just kind of like not have to worry about the deboost on the way back.
Yeah, and we saw missiles, so it ends up being nothing. So if Azure never gets to X-ray, he'll be fine.
He's just running back. He's got plenty of health for this. Normally, you'd have to wait for these waivers to come all the way to the left, and then you ride them back to preserve health.
Yeah, because the waivers do like 5 damage, and I think the spikes are 60. So
yeah,
so you use those iframes to help you out. Okay, Azure is going to go for the mimic clip. To be honest, I'm a little surprised he didn't just go to the potion shop and buy a bottle. Although his money's pretty tight, so maybe he's only got 53 rupees. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, if you're good at the mimic clip, especially if you can do it bufferless, like it's really not that long.
Yeah, we'll see how quickly he can do it this time. I've seen him, like I said, I've seen him do it very quickly, and I've seen him take a very long time. Of course, he did learn it on the fly during a weekly race where the bow was not needed for anything other than mimics in GT. But honestly, at this point, I think the worst thing that could happen to azder, if he decides to do Eastern and there's nothing there, then he'll be forced to go check the Pyramid Ledge. He'll get that bow. If there's something good in Eastern that leads him away from that, then it might just be that much longer before he gets the bow. The good news is he'll have full cleared pods, so he won't be missing anything unless something really good is on Helmasaur. And I don't know if there's an item on Helmasaur. I wasn't paying attention enough to see if Osse got both map and compass. And he did do that Mimic Click very quickly, so...
Yeah, only missed a handful of the one-frame inputs.
And I think Osse looks like he's heading up to the wreck ship.
Yeah, again, still out of logic, so... I mean, I guess
first
Eastern...
try CWJ. Nicely done by Osse.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of getting down to like what, like Eastern and I'm not sure really what is left.
Did Osse check the mushroom? He checked the powder.
Yeah, the mushroom. Would be the other one.
As you're having that flute, we might get that mushroom check earlier.
It'd be interesting if if it's like speed or grapple. That just to put wreck ship in logic.
Yep. That could be.
I think that's one of the reasons why sequence breaking is a little bit more attractive in this, because it could just be, you know, something that like the runners of this level just don't need.
Yeah. My favorite is
like
the wave beam. Yeah, my favorite is the wave beam. In normal mode, the wave beam has a lot of logic behind it, but you don't need it. Like you completely don't need it. And you know, there was a seed recently where wave beam was in a really crappy spot and led to a bunch of stuff behind speed booster in Croc-Meyer's area.
Yeah, and, wave beam is...
and you just didn't need it, you know. And if you knew what you were doing, you just didn't have to ever get it, and just saves a ton of time.
Wave beam is kind of like the lamp of Super Metroid, where
once
you get to the level, except for lamp does have the use of at least being a fire source.
Yeah.
So lamp is even more useful than wave.
For sure, because your fire rod might be behind the lamp, and you do need a fire source to finish the game no matter what.
I guess grapple is the is the lamp of SM then, because it could be hard required for Shack Tool.
Well, only if ice isn't available.
Yeah, if ice isn't available.
And there's always Crystal Flash. And Crystal Flash Club, so...
Well, that's true. I guess not.
And we are going to get the Eastern check from azder, and we'll see if anything's here. Meanwhile, Osse in the wreck ship.
Have we gone a 2-cycle this entire weekend?
I don't know. 2 cycles are hard.
Yeah, but with the amount of like good SM runners in this, I feel like one person would be able to... I was close. I was real close. I was like one missile short. But yeah, it's, you know, all the SM runners in this are really good. So it's really impressive to see like the really top SM players like Zost and Zenny and Cutie and all them just like get 2 cycles like it's nothing. Like,
oh, I know.
They're like 100% consistent with it. It's just crazy.
Well, that's interesting. azder decided he got the big key and a compass and decided to bail on Eastern. Oh, he just remembered he has a mushroom to turn in.
Well, he just got it.
Yeah, but it's interesting that he did 2 checks in Eastern, got a big key and a compass, and then decided to bail to check the mushroom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is a little weird. It's not the mushroom. So
Eastern?
Yeah, it's gonna be a real feels bad for azder.
Yeah.
I mean, it could still be on arm or the green pendant. So if azder doesn't find this bow soon, although he's kind of getting forced down to doing this. We haven't seen Zit Kid yet, have we?
No, we saw it. It was.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah, Osse checked it earlier. Osse picking up some red mail in the wreck ship.
I guess we do have Catfish and Graveyard Ledge too.
Yeah, and we do have Zora. And I think we're gonna get azder gonna check Ice Rod Cave now into the Flippers checks, I think. He doesn't quite have enough money for Zora. 7 rupees short.
He's
Ouch.
got the gloves though. He can just grab it right here.
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, would have been 4 rupees short.
I think he grabs it if it's a 5 even. So far, we haven't seen a whole lot in the wreck ship on Ossie's side, just that red mail. I didn't see if he checked the E-tank. Like, I don't feel like he's. I don't feel like this. Like, I saw him pick up that red mail, and I don't think he went over and did the E-tank.
Yeah, I think I know Ossie can get pretty aggressive in wreck ship.
Oh, and looky there, we got some boots.
Yeah, I completely forgot about desert. Yeah, like I said before, like prioritize crystal dungeons. There's reasons to put off desert, but yeah, probably put this off a little too long, honestly.
Also, gonna check the speed booster lock location. So yeah, I would, if I'm Azure, I just go grab those boots, come back in, and don't even bother seeing if it's boots locked or not. Because at this point, it won't even matter. But he's gonna check the chest first, at least.
Good luck not muscle memorying up in there, though.
Yeah, good point. We are not hard boots locked. Might be soft boots locked though. Yep, soft boots locked. Basically, what that means is it's not in logic to clear desert without the boots, with that small key on the torch, but the big key available. But you can still do it. Just you have to decide whether you want the what do you want? Do you want the items on the right side, or do you want to finish the dungeon?
Yeah, if it's crystal, everyone would finish the dungeon and then just come back with boots later to check the right side if there's required.
Yeah, absolutely. Over there. In a pendant situation, I've even save scum that before if it's a pendant situation.
It's a pretty hard save scum to pull. It's a really long walk.
Oh, it's terrible, but yeah. when you're running out of checks. Also, the nice thing here is by having that entrance on the left side, he'll be able to go grab that small key right now, go check the right side, and then mirror right back out to where he wants to be. And shout outs to the SMZ3 doing weird things with keys. Because that was not a missile, that was the small key.
Yeah, what Azure should have done is kill Lamo, see if there was an item there, and then he could have, because as soon as he finds one item, he could just, if Lamo had an item, so he could have potentially skipped his entire right side. So there was no reason not just to, he could have gotten the boots, just gone straight to the back. So this is
if this is map compass, it'll definitely feel bad.
It's not, so...
Okay, so he would have checked it anyway, so he doesn't lose time to it. And just 50 rupees, so wreck ship, really not a whole lot for us. So this is that red mail, as far as I can tell. And like I said, I don't think Ossie checked the E-tank, which is an odd skip.
I mean, it's kind of like equivalent to skipping like Ice Rod Cave or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of isolated over here. It's a pretty long check by itself.
Yeah, I mean, with his items, he'd have to do the sponge bath bomb jump, which is kind of a pain. No high jump, no speed booster, no space. He has no movement items to get that, so it is a slow check. I'm pretty certain he's more than capable of doing that trick, though. It's not as bad as it looks.
My thing is, it's the most boring thing to practice. There's so much like fun stuff to practice in SM. It is just like the most.
And when would you ever use it in vanilla?
Yeah, you don't. So.
As you're not having any of the really good weapons for this fight. Unfortunately, without that bow, if he'd gotten that bow, this would be really easy. So at this point, Asher's going to have to get gated to that pyramid a lot sooner than he did yesterday. He'll probably do some boots checks first. But in fact, he might even... I could see a path where he does North Dark World into Catfish, into the pyramid.
Yeah, he would have to do the Kieran bomb jump to be able to pull that off.
Oh yeah, that's right. He could do a water walk to do it too.
But then you can't check Graveyard Ledge.
Oh, that's a good point.
Clear it. So yeah, that water walk's pretty unuseful, honestly, because you always want to. Generally, you'd want to combo him with Graveyard Ledge, or in this situation, King's Tomb.
Single arrow. So yeah, he's got a couple of choices now. Now he can. I mean, we're kind of down to not a lot, and with Rekship having nothing, something has got to be in one of these locations. I mean, we still have Eastern, we still have. We have Graveyard Ledge, we have Catfish, we have Zora.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Osse go for. Well, never mind. Yeah, I would, because he has no way to get to Norfair. I was thinking Osse might attempt a Hell Run. He's known to do those in normal.
Yeah, I mean this Hell Run. He's the only way to get there right now is to freeze the Nova.
Well, there's the Powerbomb strat.
Oh, there's a Powerbomb strat? I didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's. I think Osse's the one who either came up with it or I've seen.
Yeah, he's come up with some weird stuff. I wouldn't surprise me if Osse would come up with something like that. But that's really, either one of those is rough to do in the middle of a Hell Run. That is,
yeah.
Outside of Lower Norfair, that Cathedral Hell Run is the hardest Hell Run in the game. So
I think that's something you would do if you have Varia and you don't have a jumping item.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, I wouldn't think twice about breaking Upper Norfair like that with Varia suit, but without it, yeah, it's a pretty dicey. And we are seeing these North Dark World checks from azder, so we might get something new here. In fact, there's got to be something in one of these locations. We'll just see how he decides to handle the. If he chooses to current jump, I don't know that he does do current jump.
I think it was one of these two guys I was talking about the current jump, and basically saying like there's actually a fair amount of times where it's useful.
Yeah, I'm sure Osse does it. I'd be surprised if Osse doesn't do it.
Yeah, like originally you just think it's a way to like break the east side Aga lock, but there's actually cases where it's actually useful. Well, there's the cane that doesn't get
that doesn't open anything. I mean, it's great to have. We'll do icebreaker.
Yeah. I hate it when this happens, when you're like down to your last few checks and looking for progression, and you get a progression item, but it doesn't help you right now.
Exactly.
It's like, well, that's great, but
and it still could just be Eastern. So we were saying earlier that it would be bad if it was Eastern when azder was dipping the area, but now it'd actually be better if it was for him if it was Eastern, because I don't think speed booster. What is that? That gets us Rekship. Any Waterway and Rekship. We know there's nothing in Rekship.
Well, we don't know about Waterway, and we don't know about Criteria Supers.
Right. So that does get us a couple of locations.
So azder might go to Rekship first. I wouldn't be surprised, especially since he missed that. We know that's not it.
Unless it's the E-Tank.
Yeah, unless it's the E-Tank. Because that speed booster also puts that E-Tank into logic, because you can shine up there.
Yeah, and he can also check Criteria Power Bombs from here. We haven't seen that yet.
Good point, yeah. Yeah, I kind of expect more of the Rekship and then clean up Criteria Supers and Power Bombs afterwards.
So the next question is...
Okay, yeah, just give it a shot.
azder having gone out his way to get that plasma beam, does he turn it on now?
Probably. I mean, we might see our first 2 cycles.
He will at some point.
Only because it's with plasma.
Like azder's never quick to turn those beams on, and sometimes he just won't. Like especially if it's Spacer, sometimes he just won't.
Yeah, Spacer doesn't really, especially if you have Wave. Like Spacer, like Wave is generally good enough for 99% of the stuff you need to do until you get to like Lower Norfair. And even then, it's not really Plasma's killing power that you care about. It's you already have the door open.
He forgot he opened the door already. Meanwhile, Osse's gonna go do desert, so he'll get his boots.
So yeah, again, a little surprised both these guys put off desert for so long here. Another reason why I like doing the Agina play early because it does get you this scout.
As you're gonna peek this item, which I don't remember what it was, but it was nothing. Just bombs.
Yeah, I always have trouble getting that scout. If I don't have space jump, I don't even really bother with it. The camera can be a little wonky there. It won't actually show you it. But yeah, the scout there is mainly to help you decide if you want to skip a top of wreck ship. A lot of what players would do is like if they find a big item early and that's blank, then they'll go ahead and pull the trigger on the skip.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see whether Azure decides to skip the top of wreck ship. With that speed booster, he will be able to get the speed booster locked item. We know it's nothing, but he doesn't know that, and so it might incentivize him to keep going.
Yeah.
Also, plus he's got so little left to check. He might choose to do the top of wreck ship because really at this point in logic, he's got Eastern Palace, he's got the Pyramid Ledge, which will get him his bow, plus we have Catfish Zora.
Yeah, I don't. If the E-Tank's nothing, I don't think he's going to skip. But if it's like Vari or something, we may see him pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. Because he will check the E-Tank with that speed booster. It's not hard to get over there. And we do see that plasma beam was turned on. And yeah, when you get that, when you get this invisible phase, again, just like normal, you have the slow, mid, and fast invisible phases. But it does get a nice Doppler when he finally does get to the shot.
Oh, almost finishes off the air Doppler. Those are pretty tricky. It's not something I've added to my my repertoire yet.
And Osse will have a very quick landmill fight with those silver arrows. So, question in chat: why doesn't he super fan tune? Because you want to stay away from the enrage phase. You want to finish Fantune off with that super. You don't want the enrage phase. It's pretty safe, but it's super slow.
Well, safe if you have charge beam.
Yeah, well, which he does. If you have charger or screw attack.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I think, a pretty easy way to avoid it. I just don't quite know what it is.
With high jump boots, you can kind of jump around the flames. It's not too bad, but yeah, without they don't have high jump boots, so that makes it much harder. And Osse did what you had suggested. He did kill Landmo first, and we'll go ahead and get the right side items second. But since there were items there, the time difference is minimal, if at all.
Well, this also allows a much cleaner check of Agina at the end as well, because you can just pop right out here. Minor thing, but I mean, it's definitely, I think you pointed out yesterday that Azure thinks about all these minor things a lot, so.
And we are definitely, I mean, we've got more than a row of hearts. We've got red mail, so super healthy in terms of Link to the Past. Let's see if Azure's he's skipping the wreck ship E-Tank too. What the? Why? Oh, I wanted to know what was there. I don't even care whether it's something good or not. I just wanted to know.
The skip makes way more sense from Osse with him doing wreck ship out of logic. Osse still had a couple more checks to do. He's got all of Eastern left. With Azder, the amount of stuff he's got left, I don't know. I don't really agree with that.
I don't like this. I don't like this skip, but also because for Azder, he's got the speed booster. It's not hard to get over there with the speed booster. Whereas with Osse, he would have had to do a bomb jump, and that's a tricky play.
Yeah, like it's possible in normal logic for wreck ship to be in logic and that still to be out of logic. If you have specifically just grapple for here.
Yeah, for Osse, if Osse had grapple, it would have been still out of logic.
So there are reasons to potentially, logic reasons to potentially skip it. But yeah, I feel like this is going to come back to haunt both of them. Maybe Azure a little bit more than Osse. It could also be a little bit of a meta from Azure, knowing that Osse likes to skip it. So he's just going ahead and skipping it too. No, it's just going to hurt them both equally. Granted, if you know your opponent's skipping it, I've said this before, but generally the biggest gambles aren't like skipping something, that's just like a flat 20 seconds. The biggest thing is your opponent skipped something and you got it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's really how you put up a lot of time on your opponent.
Although, to be fair, I don't think this is a metagame thing from azder. I don't. That's not really his style in general. So a good question in chat: why bother checking the wreck ship reserve if you have speed? Mainly just for the knowledge. You know, if it's something good, then you lose time. If it's something bad, then it's pretty time neutral to check it there or to just jump to it. In a SM rando major minor, I'm more likely to check it with speed just because there's absolutely no reason to go back that way regardless, because you have the minor item at the Chozo statue. But here in SMZ3, he's still going to have to go check the Chozo statue. So
yeah, I never scout it if I have. It's one of those weird things because the easiest way to scout it is with speed because you can just go right through those blocks.
In SMZ3, the only time I'll scout it is if I have Spring Ball but not Speed Booster. Because Spring Ball makes it a very easy scout as well.
Yeah. You can also scout it back here. You
can
just jump up
you just wall jump and lay a power bomb. So yeah, in that case, that's what I do. I'll scout it the other way. I'll scout it by doing wall jumps because I'm already going that direction because I have to check the Chozo statue with that's sitting there. Whereas like in a major minor split in SM rando by itself, then I would scout it ahead of time just because I don't need to go check that item.
Yeah, I actually do like the Alcatraz wall jumps to get over those because I'm so bad at the quick emitter and morphs.
Okay, as you're leaving wreck ship behind with nothing, we still don't know what's at the E tank.
You want Osse picking up his red cane of non-progression.
This might be a gauntlet check from azder. Because there's no other reason to refill at this point.
Which is going to be feels bad for him because he's going to get
powder. He's going to check it. He's going to get nothing from the powder. Yeah. I mean, it's a luxury item. It's a good luxury item, but I mean, these runners don't need it. No, he's not going to do gauntlet. Okay, he's just refilling to refill. It's to be fair. I mean, if he finds Various Suit or something that leads him to he has that full ammo and full health. Ready to go for the other portals.
Yeah, I made the point about maybe doing.
Waterway and Criteria Supers. Forgot about those.
Yeah,
and that's why you save, because if there's nothing here, you just reset.
Yeah, you can also be thinking about hell runs now too.
Yeah, with that speed booster, absolutely.
The speed is the easiest way to get into the upper north for hell runs because you completely skip Cathedral. I'm so bad at that deep. Oh, there's the hook shot.
Oh, and it's a hook shot. Oh boy. Okay.
Gets us nothing.
Yeah. Doesn't get us nothing new. Doesn't get us anything. I mean, it's good to have. Like azder doesn't have to worry about hovering now, so that's a thing, and he knows it. Oh, he's not doing waterway. He's just gonna leave with that hook shot.
That's especially with hook shot not actually getting you anything. That's shocking.
Well, maybe he'll finally go over to the pyramid and get his bow.
I think he just realized that hookshot doesn't actually get him anything.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I would have had the same reaction, like, oh, good hookshot, and then it's like wait a minute.
Okay, azder, what are you doing? Azder, he is kind of funny. If you ever watch his stream when he's got his mic on during a race, he does get a little indecisive, just like that sometimes. It's kind of amusing. Well, he'll change his mind a few times. Now we're gonna get his Zora check over from Osse. And his X-ray scope. Oh gosh.
That makes charge plasma valuable.
Well, he'll have microwave beam when he goes to Meridia. So that
could have had a one cycle Phantoon. We haven't had a two cycle.
Yeah.
One. You guys are jerks for breaking record.
Okay, I think azder's finally gonna get his bow here.
Now, is this gonna force him back into Eastern? Now he didn't do catfish. Yeah, he didn't do catfish.
No, he didn't do catfish.
So he may do clean this up into those.
I gotta be honest. This is where I wish I could be listening to him right now, because his reaction when he finds his bow is gonna be would be pretty classic.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Bo. And Osse, meanwhile, is gonna go into Eastern.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised If it's in Eastern, I wouldn't be.
We're
Yeah,
we're
like
down to.
some of these
I think
some of these skips.
we're down to Eastern and Catfish.
If it is that wreck ship tank, they're both gonna feel terrible and gonna think like, okay, I'm just playing for game 2 now.
For
And
game 3.
it's gonna be, yeah, it's just gonna be a coin flip to which one ends up winning.
But fortunately, since they both orphaned it, I would put Osse. No, Azder's done a few more of the Dark World checks, and so Osse may, and also has that hook shot. So he's got the criteria supers up on Osse. So
yeah,
I don't know who I'd put ahead right now. I really don't.
I kind of want to say Osse's in the lead just because his routing has been cleaner. Like he hasn't had to do this pod double dip. He's not going to do this Eastern double dip. Like he's just been more efficient overall. So I got to put him in a little bit of a lead here, even though like the next item is going to change everything. So.
We know from Azder's side the first 2 checks were Big Key and a Compass, so we'll see what comes up here.
Yeah, although Azder does have Tower of Hera down on Osse.
Oh, that's a good point. I'd forgotten
technically
about that.
Technically, I mean, just looking at it, it's like you almost put Azder in the lead, but
yeah. Well, I think actually, when I think of it, I'm a little surprised that Osse does this Eastern play before doing Hera. He hasn't done the East Death Mountain stuff either. Not that there's anything there, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's interesting.
I mean, it could turn out to be correct. We're down to very few spots left.
Oh, he apparently did do East Death Mountain. Just didn't do Hera.
Oh.
I guess.
That's okay. Maybe he's waiting for the hook shot to do a Hera pot.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't really like putting off Hera. Like, it is faster, but it saves so little time.
No, I don't like that either. Just do it. Okay, now we'll get a new check here, and it's rupees. So I think we're down to Armos Knights and Green Pendant if the answer is Eastern. As you're gonna have a little bit easier time with Helmo with that tempered sword and a ton of hearts. Definitely not the AD setup here. And if he wants to, he can one-shot the end of with the silver arrows. Although I think I find it quicker to not menu to the bow when you have a tempered sword. But, it's 6 of one, half does the other.
Yeah, gold sword is definitely not worth the menu. Tempered is, it's for if you did the sword out strat where you had a free spin.
Yeah, that's what I like to do.
But yeah, it doesn't really matter in this situation.
And does Azure go back into Eastern?
Yes. Yeah, he's gotta. Like, there's no reason he wouldn't have come over here if he wasn't doing the Eastern play.
Yeah, I agree.
But this makes sense. While he's over here, might as well clean up your crystal. So makes perfect sense. But yeah, he's definitely.
So if it's Eastern, the answer is Green Pendant.
Which it very well could be.
It was big yesterday.
That's true. We were so fixated on that morph play, we forget that the Green Pendant was what really sealed it for Azder.
Oh yeah, no. If he'd gotten that morph before he got those boots, then it was a totally different race. Spike Cave, anyone?
Yeah, that puts Spike Cave in Logic. Which they could have done a while ago with these bottles.
Yeah, I find Spike Cave with a bottle. They have a bug now. You just grab a fairy and you can do Spike Cave without even going to the potion shop.
Yeah, you can do Spike Cave with like 5 hearts, as long as you have hook shot with a fairy. The fairy's a lot more valuable because you actually get more iframes than you normally would after the death revive.
And Osse gonna beeline towards that Spike Cave, which I like that call a lot.
100%. Like, there's no reason not to do this. Spike Cave was big in Osse Seed yesterday. But yeah, in this seed, it'd be very weird to break this earlier. You'd have to spend a lot of money to get those potions to be able to do this at a kind of an awkward time. And that's not
And
it. Wow.
not it. So
Waterway,
catfish waterway,
waterway, and wreck
and
ship. Yeah,
wreck ship E-tank. Which I think the wreck ship E-tank is the last location for both runners. It's just I don't see any way around that.
100%.
Which means it'd be funny if they both got there at the same time after doing all those checks that the other has done.
Yeah, if that's it, we're gonna have a real clear idea who's in the lead. Just because, but that's gonna be the last location for both. Whoever gets there first, they're gonna be kind of completely on the same path at that point.
Osse gonna do these mirror checks that Azder's already done. Also, I like that his sprite armor is now purple with the red mail upgrade. Okay, as you're getting those supers, we'll get the green pendant, turn it in, and probably will follow that blue cane straight up to Spike Cave. Although he could choose to do the Catfish Zora checks first. We'll see what he elects to do here, because he hasn't done the Zora area yet. Azder, you've done pod. Azder gets his blue cane, pulls out his flute. Osse, meanwhile, going back into SM. Did Osse pick up that speed booster? He did. Okay, so he's going to do these speed checks. So Osse going to get to Waterway before Azder does. Most likely. And we're going to get the Spike Cave check from Azder, which unfortunately for him is just going to be that piece of heart. See, we'll get his hook shot out of Criteria Supers.
We'll see if Osse realizes this hook shot actually doesn't mean anything.
Okay, as you're going to the mountain, is this... He's not pulling out his flute, so is this the Hell Runs?
Yeah, I haven't said this a couple times. Not a terrible idea, honestly.
Yeah, with this many tanks, his ammo is really good. 105-60, he's got enough for Mother Brain. So ammo not going to be an issue at all. Yeah. Not to mention he's got that charged ice plasma. Having a little trouble with this gate glitch does get it. Interesting he's doing Croc first. But I kind of like that. I mean, Croc would be in logic with Varia suit because of the speed booster. So he's just saying, well, I don't know where Varia is. Let's just go do some of this stuff now.
Why is he refilling?
Okay. For a moment there, I was thinking, were you thinking what I was thinking?
I was like, yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, he's not. Well, Azder doesn't do bootless lava dive, so he doesn't, without high jump boots, he's not making that play.
Oh, he doesn't? That's interesting. I mean, you could have, this was something I was thinking about yesterday. The Meyer play right now doesn't look that terrible, honestly. Just
no, it doesn't.
How running there. Also, the other big thing, like, you used to wouldn't be able to really do a GT there. Both the refill, killing GT with this loadout would have been pretty easy.
Okay, Osse gonna do Waterway, so that's gonna be, that could be our answer, because that is in logic with that speed boost.
And it could be Varia, which means Azder would have kind of a little bit of a, kind of an effective lead. I mean, with so much ammo here, he could just completely skip Varia.
I didn't like that Yeah, I didn't like the skip of this earlier when he had the chance to check it. I didn't like the skip of the E-Tank. But yeah, if this is Varia, Azure might never get it. He's got with this ammo and this. I mean, this is definitely enough for him to do lower North hell runs if he so desires.
Alright, so let's see.
And he's grabbed the
Bombs.
E-Tank. And nothing at Waterway. So we're down to Catfish and Wreck Ship E-Tank.
I think
in Logic.
Miss Metroid said Catfish was a reserve tank.
Oh, okay. Did Osse check that? Because I'm pretty sure Azure did.
Yeah, I missed it. I missed it too. If it did happen.
So we are down to that Wreck Ship E-Tank. Oh my god, that they both consciously skipped. Yeah, because I knew Osse had checked the Zora area.
Yeah, so it could be. I mean, again, the most likely thing is a suit. Vari suit is good for azder. Gravity suit would be, I would say, be bad for azder. But again, we saw him do the entire suitless Meridia yesterday.
He did, and did it well.
Although I feel like that's going to come back to haunt him a little bit more against Osse, who.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Nidourific, a very good player, but he's not Osse. Okay, is he gonna go do the Wreck Ship E-Tank? No, he's gonna go do. Oh, he's gonna go do Gauntlet and get that powder. Oh boy.
Oh, he reset it before. Wow.
Yeah, there was nothing in Croc, so I like that call to just reset the ship like that. I think that worked out really well.
Yeah, I mean, see, I would have preferred saving at and being able to do Bubble Mountain. Like, if you're gonna try the hell runs, you might as well try all of them. I mean, I guess the upper hell runs will generally require a little bit of farming or crystal flashing, so they're slower. Where Croc, you really don't lose any time at all from hell running it with this amount of E-tanks. Like, it's that amount of health is just whatever.
Yeah, he's gonna keep that powder because I mean he does have the check from it and is a useful item. Oh, nice charge out of Gauntlet there.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Very
short charge to get. Get that spark as the other strat. Because you have to get it early enough to break the blocks, but still very tricky short charge.
Okay, I don't like this call here. He's gonna go do Waterway, and he didn't save, and he's gonna want to keep that powder. So now he's gonna be priced into keeping the item at Waterway that is nothing.
Yeah. This is.
Oh no, never mind. He's going to.
He's just gonna pop out and then probably pop back in.
Yeah, I like this call.
Nope.
If that's
he's just checking. He's just checking powder right away. He's not bothering.
That's fair. At which point, if he wants it, you can just reset to the ship again after checking powder.
Dude, this is the thing with like skipping. If you skip a bunch, what ends up happening is you have all these bad checks.
Yeah.
In just different corners, and like each check just takes forever. Which is why I tend to lean to the full clear everything as efficiently as possible.
Yeah, I agree.
Type strategy.
But you know, when Azure and Osse have won a lot of races by doing these kind of plays. So I mean, they're doing something right. He's gonna save and quit.
I think they're just fast.
Yeah, there's that too. They're just good at this game. Like, I mean, when you think about, there's a lot of really good players that do SMZ3, but a lot of them are more specialists in one or the other of the games. Azure and Osse, you know, they both do very, very well in both games. They both speedrun the games in vanilla categories. They play the randomizer in both, you know, so yeah, I feel like in terms of well-roundedness, I mean, you get someone like an Andy who's, you know, like one of the best in Link to the Past there is, but, you know, his SM just doesn't measure up to an Osse or an Azure. And that's, you know, it's when you can balance the games as well as these two can. It just, you know, that's just really good. And Azure looks like he's going to do the Zora area, which is going to completely isolate Catfish for him, but we now know that it's nothing.
No, I'm sitting right here, Tracy.
You were in this tournament too.
Yeah, my high execution really shined.
But to be fair, I mean, you'd have to tell me, but how much of your SM speedrunning came from doing the SMZ3 in the first place? But honestly, you've come a really long way in terms of SM.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, but it's mostly because both these guys have free PBs in both games. But NMG plus 80%, I actually have a faster combined time than these guys. But like azder could get a low 44, Osse could get, definitely could get 43 or 42 pretty easily. So they've just been sitting on free, and their length of pass are both like 27s, which they both could get a 25 just whenever they felt like it. Honestly.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, Osse, back to the ship. Is he finally going to go check that retric E-tank? I think so. azder looks like he's going to do more hell runs.
Yeah, this routing from azder is just like
It's like he just doesn't want to go to that. Yeah, he doesn't want to go to that retric.
He's just like not comboing things in together. Like,
yeah.
Again, you could have just done this with Croc. You're coming back. I mean, it's not that much time, but it's like it's like 10, 20 seconds each time, and it's against Osse. Like, you just don't want to be spending that time.
Yeah, if this is various suit, I don't think azder ever comes back and gets it. Although it really depends. I mean,
yeah, I mean, he would need.
He still can't do the, like I said, azder doesn't do high jumpless lava dive. So you need like mitts or something to be able to get to lower Norfair if he wants to do those hell runs.
Yeah, but then it would have to be the case that one of those things. I mean, because like gravity or something would have to be available for him. So because it was front door, you need gravity and space jump. So something would have to be available to him to be able to skip that high jump lava dive.
Yeah, right now it's not viable. Okay, we're gonna find out what's at the E-tank, and it is.
We don't know yet. Oh no! Yeah, that's the worst case.
Well, yeah, that is worst case for azder because that's 100% required for azder.
Yeah, at this point, Osse is, I'm gonna say, firmly in the lead. azder's
I agree.
Even if the problem is, even if azder finds something here, it's just gonna send him further away from that path.
Yeah, he could find gravity here, and that would actually be really bad. That would take him far away from that wreck ship E-tank.
Yeah, especially if Meridia ends up being empty. So at this point, I would definitely say Osse has a pretty firm grasp on this seed.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see how. I mean, azder skipped 2 at this point. He skipped the bow, which is costing a lot of routing efficiency over Osse, and then Osse was just the first person back here. It will be. I am kind of interested why Osse didn't do these hell runs, because again, I know something he's definitely would do.
Yeah, and he's got a crystal flash. He's fine.
Close. Yeah, okay. He did it really late. That's
a little scary, but yeah.
Get it off around like 60 is when I try to lay it.
Like the
real sure the minimum is.
Yeah, the real issue here though is this the fact that like it made sense for Osse to skip the item when he did. It didn't make sense for azder to skip the item. It's just not that hard to get with that speed booster. I will have to ask him when what his thought process was for skipping it earlier. But yeah, azder is going to get gated towards, like, he's got a couple more checks here, and if this isn't progression of another sort, he's going to be forced into waterway and the wreck ship E-tank. And you're talking about those efficiencies of routing. The fact that azder did not combine the waterway check with the criteria supers check. So yeah, he's gonna have a decision to make. Which one do you go for?
Yeah, it's the problem with skipping this stuff is it spreads everything out and it just becomes really, really bad to clean it up, and that's really how you lose just buckets of time in this.
Well, and also the fact that he's doing, he's got 3 locations left, to my knowledge, that he hasn't checked. So waterway, wreck ship, E-tank, and catfish. So he's got to know that something has to be in one of those 3 locations. But instead of actually checking those locations where he knows something's got to show up, he's doing these hell runs that could lead to absolutely nothing. Like, there's no guarantee there's anything good here.
Yeah. Yeah, last chance, and there's just nothing.
Yep, that's everything in Upper Norfair for him. So he's got to hope that there's something else trolly enough that Osse will have to look for. Like, we still need a fire rod. So I think Azder's, and do we need flippers? We don't need flippers. Swamp is a pendant, so we probably don't need flippers. So we need that fire rod to be.
The hookshot's looking good for progression now because of hookshot caves now launching.
Yeah, so I figure Azder's best chance is if fire rod is in a really bad spot and he can just somehow get there first while Osse's looking in upper Norfair.
The thing is, like, at this point, when you kind of last location something in like the middle of the seed, like not your last item is last location.
Yep.
It narrows you down so much that there's really only one path left, and Osse's already on that path. So no matter how trolly this location is, like there's only so many dumb places it could be, and you're gonna find it pretty soon. Azder can only like really hope to find it like a minute or two faster, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he's still gonna have to finish Mire, gonna have to finish Ice Palace, all this kind of stuff. Osse does look like he's prioritizing dungeons here. He knew for a fact he could complete Mire here with all 3 pendants. Probably gonna do Ice Palace next. Again, he's got the cane, that makes it pretty quick. Not gonna bother looking for those flippers.
Yeah, I like this choice from Osse. Doing Mire first. You might then probably do Ice afterwards. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. Ice before Mire before Ice is pretty equal.
If we find Fire Rod next, this could be a suitless seed.
Oh, for sure.
Which would be great to see. That Plasma Beam definitely. Really, you want at least Plasma or a Screw Attack to do the LN How runs. Makes it a lot better. They will need. They don't have a worse room in the game item besides Ice.
That's a tough one. That's a really tough one.
Azder's done low percent, so he knows the
no, they
Ice.
they both can do it low percent, but it's slow.
Yeah, that's right. Osse did the multi-cat.
Yeah, the problem is that it's slow, and so you're losing all that health while you're going slow. As you're going to do the catfish check, and then we'll see whether he does waterway or wreck ship E-tank.
The thing is, if it does turn out to be suitless, they're going to do GT first, and they can easily find a space jump or a high jump or something like that in there as well.
Yep, could be. Okay, where are you going next, Azder? Because I don't know that there's any other Link to the Past spots that you can do. He's thinking about it. Like you've got 2 checks in Super Metroid, and that's it. That's all you got. This is where Azder is very good at doing this without a tracker. He does not track his track items, but every once in a while, I just think it hurts him. Most of the time, I think it's better because you don't have to spend the time actually clicking buttons.
That's why I only track the Link to the Past side. SM, you just do in such big chunks, you just mentally can go, I've done Brinstar, I've done Wreck Ship, and then obviously there's the few holdovers.
Yeah, I don't need the SM tracker. I usually put on there for my viewers, and it's usually way outdated.
Yeah.
I killed 3 bosses. Oh yeah, I should click those.
It's just a way for me to like organize my thoughts mostly. I can just mentally see like groupings of items, so I know like where density is and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and unfortunately, as you're doing the waterway check first, which is going to be nothing. And it's a real shame because he had that speed booster to do the wreck ship E-tank without too much trouble and just chose not to do it. He would have had those mitts. Now, interestingly enough, that mitts might have taken him away from getting to that bow anytime soon, but I think in the end, I think you'd be better off with the mitts and getting to that bow later.
Like both these guys have made skips. I think Osse skips have made a lot, even though they both skipped the major thing. That skip made more sense for Osse. A lot of other, like Osse didn't make some of the other skips, like not doing waterway here when he found hookshot, knowing hookshot doesn't actually give him anything at the moment. Besides that wreck ship E-tank, he didn't really skip anything big.
No, he didn't.
It's just been kind of efficiently full clearing most of the seed. I think Solski kind of said it yesterday. Azder tends to either like win by an hour or lose by an hour.
Oh, to be fair, usually Azder usually will forfeit in those situations. But
especially today, like you're not going to play the seed. When
no. I mean, if he's close, if he's like a mother brain from finishing, off. But if Osse finishes way ahead, there's no point in prolonging it when you have at least one more and possibly 2 more games to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, let's face it, we all want to see 3 games anyway, because that's just a full day of the two best playing some SMZ3. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, and then the thing is, like, same with azder. It's like he doesn't need to beat Osse by an hour, but like Osse's good enough where it's like he needs to have a strong run to pull it out, because Osse's generally going to do that. Like, I mean, Osse also does the same thing, but like he definitely makes some plays that can come back to bite him. But I think Osse's maybe a little more, I don't want to say conservative, but I mean, I guess that's the only way I can describe it. But just a little cleaner with the rounding, maybe a little less aggressive, I guess.
Yeah. Well, and also, Osse always strikes me as this really calm, even-keeled, just takes things as they go. And azder, will get very upset, when things go wrong sometimes. And and sometimes that's good because I've seen it, work in his favor where he'll just say, well, I messed this up. I'm gonna do this stupid play to hopefully get something. Oh, azder.
This is generally not the spiky room of death in rando, especially not with AD tanks. But
yeah, I would pop that reserve and maybe get ready for a crystal flash.
I wouldn't crystal flash, but I would pop the reserve because
yeah, for sure.
you could get double hit and that'll just instantly kill you.
Yeah, but anyway, just the different mentalities that these guys project when they play is definitely a thing. Also gonna go do ice. We may never find flippers this seed.
Yeah, there's that the miss from azder.
Yeah,
Looks calm on stream, but
on restream. He's not happy. No, he's not calm. Okay, you've got 2 health as you're going into spiky room of death. Please pop your reserve. The reserves won't save you here.
No. Yeah.
That's.
It's why you don't do that one in the platforms moving up. That's really unfortunate.
Nope. Okay, he's gonna have to do that again.
I feel for this is kind of how I felt yesterday. We're just, although it makes me feel a little better that azder, as it happens to azder too.
Yeah, so, I mean everybody makes mistakes.
We all make mistakes. Yeah, we all make mistakes.
Yeah, it
feels really bad.
I'm really surprised because he's usually really good about managing that health situation. Usually I would have expected him to pop the reserve and get himself into a crystal flash situation, just crystal flash, because I've seen him do that many times.
Especially when you're playing against us, or just again anyone in this tournament. It's just like when you've made this mistakes, you just feel like you have to play perfect to even have a chance, and so you're just really inclined to kind of go all out, even though it may not be the best thing to do.
Meanwhile, Osse in Ice Palace, and we'll get to see an icebreaker here, which just completely changed this dungeon.
Yeah, it used to be you would never break this without flippers, because you could just potentially flip as your last item. You just don't need them at all. It's just so much faster to full clear now that with Kayn, this sequence break definitely makes sense. It is now in the meta. The icebreaker way more game changing than diver down.
Oh, diver down is just a time save. There's really not much more to it.
Just a straight time save.
Whereas the difference in a full clear Ice Palace, the difference between icebreaker and not icebreaker is significant. It's not, ironically, in a go mode Ice Palace, the difference is not nearly as significant. But we're not in go mode. We still need a fire rod.
Yeah, go mode. It's like 10 seconds. It's to the point like if you're learning this game, definitely you want to put icebreaker into your repertoire for the full clear. But like if you're not great at it and it takes you a couple attempts, and if you're better at the IPBJ, if you're in a go mode situation, just go ahead and do it. It's really only a 10-second time save overall.
And I always say that you should, there's a lot of newer Link to the Past runners that aren't learning the IPBJ. You still need to learn it.
You still need it. Yeah, you definitely still need it. But
because your Kayn might be in Ice Palace. That is not unusual because it's not a logical progression item that'll.
When we were debating whether or not it was going to be an NMG, I was sitting there going like, man, is IPBJ going to become random only tech now? Because that's just mind-boggling.
I know, right?
It ended up getting disallowed for the NMG run.
Okay, as you're safely out with his mitts, and he's going to have to play catch-up now. And yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's going to come down to, do we find Fire Rod first or do we find a suit first? Because, if Fire Rod's our next major item. I'm guessing we're gonna go double suitless, like you said earlier.
I've only ever had one double suitless seed where I finished rando with with no suits. So, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a little tricky to do.
Yeah, this loadout is not great for Meridia because we don't have grapple beam, we don't have high jump boots, so getting through Coliseum is going to be a big pain. So they really want something to help with
that. Is this even possible right now?
I
don't think
think
it's possible.
so.
How? How do you get out?
Well, okay.
You can get out.
It's getting in. Yeah. Getting out. No, I think you're right. Getting out is the problem. We don't have spring ball. Yeah, we can't get out.
Yeah, we can't get out right
you
now.
need one of grapple. Wait, we have X-ray. Well, Asia, do we both have X-ray? Yeah, we both have X-ray.
Yeah. They could do that.
Cool. They could do an X-ray climb. They'd have to do the crystal flash out of the main room. So RBO and then you do X-ray climb out of.
Yeah, use your blue suit to get out of. Yeah, that's why Dragon's so tricky to get out of, because you actually need to get out of 2 rooms.
Yeah.
It's easy to get 1.
And I know Azure will go for it because we've seen in the fall 2018 tournament against Hataka. That was what he ended up doing. He had no grapple, no spring ball. I don't recall whether he had high jump or space jump, but he did choose to do the crystal flash, not the crystal, yeah, the spike suit or the spark, whatever it is, out of Dragon, and then he had to X-ray climb out of the precious room. So
we are being informed by our cosmic brainer in chief here from chat that you could just snipe Dragon from the ledge and just get out.
Yeah, that is a thing. Yeah, I've actually never seen anybody do that. That would be fun to watch. I've never seen it. I know it's doable.
But if we do run into Fire Rod here again, we're gonna full clear GT. We're gonna clear GT. We might actually see a full clear GT looking for a high jump or something like that. Because again, even lower Norfair on this loadout is not really doable with just the ice beam.
Well, there's a grapple beam, so that's at least a piece of the Meridia puzzle. If
yeah, it doesn't help with first room of the game. You do have the ice beam. If they can both do that strat, like it is slow, but it's not too bad. They've got so much ammo that they can just kind of use the extra crystal flash.
And I think Ossie's going to go into Turtle Rock. I like this call. He might get gated right away, or there might be something here. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the Fire Rodless Turtle Rock play.
Yeah, I am too. I like it better than the Ice Rodless, to be honest.
Oh yeah, the Ice Rod.
Ice Rod, you're getting all the way to the bottom. With Fire Rod, I mean, I can count on one hand the number of times I've seen a seed that actually gets you all the way to Laser Bridge without a Fire Rod, and have several fingers to spare.
Oh, and apparently flippers were in super, so we still have potentially something in swamp.
Oh, okay. Ossie having just gotten flippers. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess you go swamp next if you don't get a suit.
Or with that you could do what we kind of thought azder was going to do and just kill Dragon.
Yeah.
You know, and hope Fire Rod is there.
Yeah, that grapple beam makes it more viable. I mean, still no high jump or space jump. Makes it that Coliseum is a scary place without a suit and without a good movement item.
Yeah, I feel like grapple high jump list is not really something you practice all that much. If you get stuck in the sand without high jump too, it's just.
Oh yeah, that's like, sand in the Coliseum has spikes in it. You're just without high jump, you're just dead. With high jump, it's really hard. There are ways to get out with high jump. I don't know if you can. Yeah, but I don't know if you can get out without high jump. It just never comes up. You know, like this is a situation where it would come up, and it just And Ossie getting gated very quickly out of Turtle Rock, so I think Swamp Palace has to be the play.
Yeah, I think just follow the progression here. I mean, it's always interesting, like guys, that can make every single sequence break there is. When they just kind of become slaves to the progression. It's like, well, I'm just going to do, Pendant Swamp because that's where the game is wanting to.
Ossie,
so there's got to be something
there,
Ossie
right? Choosing not to do any of those hell runs in Norfair that Azure did. I mean, that I think is kind of the bulk of his lead. I mean, like you said, his routing has overall been more efficient as well. But the fact that azder didn't get anything out of those hell runs, like if he'd gotten the fire rod out of those hell runs, then that's it. That changes things. But
Yeah,
or
I
even
mean,
if he'd gotten gravity suit, I guess. But gravity suit might have taken him away from those myths, so that might not have been good.
I'd been interested to see what Osse would have done if he did have like high jump or something here, because he's definitely not. There's only really a handful of people who would attempt the full clear LN hell run. Both these guys definitely will try it. I've done it before too, especially like screw attack or something where it's pretty easy. But full clear, it takes extra time to make those checks and everything. It's a little bit more dangerous. But yeah, you could just start clearing LN without a suit as well.
Yeah, this is a really nice loadout in terms of ammo, and that plasma beam helps. But no space jump, no high jump, no screw attack. Definitely makes it a lot more difficult. And we'll have to follow Osse for a little bit because we've seen everything in Mire from Osse's side, and azder will almost certainly do Ice Palace next because that just makes sense.
Yeah, like I was saying, since they got so bottlenecked down, they're going to be on the same path. You can almost just see Osse's lead here in a linear sense because there's really no reason to make any sort of different route than what Osse's done.
Yep.
Do Misery Mire first. Do Ice Palace next. And then do Dark Death Mountain. You're going to get your flippers. You're going to come here. Really, the only thing is like if azder wants to make that Dragon play, and he's got to feel way behind right here. I wouldn't be surprised to see it, honestly. That he might see that as a lifeline to potentially slingshot him back to the front.
I mean, I joke about this a lot. azder will usually feel behind in these. But here he absolutely feels behind. There's no question. Like that last location, he has no idea that Osse got it pre-last location as well. But it was a harder last location for azder, having done all those hell runs.
Well, last location and the inefficient routing and the death,
and the death, all that combined.
Against Osse, you're just not ahead.
No,
it's just not happening.
Osse going to go to the back first, which is fine.
Yeah, I mean, Osse doesn't feel good either with that last location.
No. Oh, no. Osse feels behind too, for sure. But yeah.
azder just feels more behind. He's more sure he's behind.
But yeah, it's interesting. The one thing that Icebreaker did do that's kind of changed Link to the Past routing a little bit is you see a lot more people do that left side first because of the the bomb dive bomb thing where you can you don't have to flood. You can flood the key and still pick it up. But Osse's still going ahead and doing the back first.
Yeah, it hasn't changed my approach where I like to do the back first unless I
no, it doesn't change my approach either.
And I do it this because I tried it once or twice and it's like. The problem is that the keys in the back, it's just gross because you got to turn them. Or on Argus is even worse. Like it's just terrible. So,
like for me to even consider doing the left side first, I need to find like all the dungeon items.
Speaking of hell runs, we're getting at least a little one here with GT. We'll see if azder.
Yeah,
I can't imagine him going deeper than this. I do like this play with.
I do too.
Charge plasma. He's got all these supers and everything. Just gonna take GT down real quick here.
Yeah, I've done this play before where you just check the item and possibly reset if it's nothing. Wave beam is nice.
There's your full beam. I bet he really wished he picked that up before the fight, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I don't. Or Osse is leaving Swamp.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
what is he not checked?
He's going to Meridia?
Yeah, he's going to Meridia. Okay.
He's making this play. So the play I thought azder might make, Osse's. I mean, I think it definitely makes sense for both these guys. Again, a little bit.
He's got the grapple beam, so that makes a difference. Now, grapple jumps are not the same. They are more difficult without those high jumps.
Yeah, it is. That grapple jump, honestly, once you get used to it, it's pretty easy with high jump. Oh, gravity was on Argus. Okay, never mind.
Oh, oops. We missed it watching the GT fight. Miss Metroid keeping us honest. So
okay,
yeah, it totally makes sense.
Yeah, probably doesn't have to do these grapple jumps now.
No, probably
not. We've not seen you know, if we do run at this point, definitely run to this fire rod. Really doubtful we're going to see them looking for Varia.
Yeah.
Certainly not before GT.
Now,
GT.
I will say this: a lot of people really like the backdoor Meridia play. I'm actually not a huge fan of the backdoor Meridia play unless you're in go mode in the situation. You're going to kill Dragon, but the amount of it takes time to get to that portal, and if you go through through Upper Norfair, the time that you're taking to get to Dragon, you're checking items. So I kind of like going from the front better, but you know, he'll check those items afterwards.
The thing is, Dragon is always required, right? It's kind of like Skull Woods in a way, where if you, especially one from go here, if Fire Rod's on Dragon, right? If you backdoor, you just kill Dragon and you're done. If you front door, you have to clear all of Meridia before you get there. So it could be a significant time change. I almost always backdoor Meridia because it gives me the option to bail on Meridia, and Meridia can be a pretty time-consuming area to go through.
As Osse making very quick work of Dragon with that microwave beam. But yeah, I suspect what we're going to see as you're basically gated to this same thing, and just, you know, this again, unless that fire rod's in a stupid bad place, that Azure manages to spike somehow, and I can't think of where that would be right now. I just don't see him catching up.
I mean, like, the worst place you can imagine right now is Shaktul, but like Osse's not going to skip that at this point.
No, I mean, no, I can't see him skipping that.
Again, once you get bottlenecked down like this, there's really no more plays you can make, because
exactly.
If you're especially looking for one item, it's like you're not going to gamble on that like 30 or minute or something from Shaktul.
Yeah, and Azure, I could see he'll make those kind of gambles, but doing Shaktul before Dragon, just I don't think so. I can't see it.
Yeah, left side swamp. That's pretty much it. That's the one place you could. Something has to be there. And like, I've made this point before, like, Azure feels behind, so he probably feels like motivated to like skip things. But again, if you feel this far behind, your best bet is to do the very slow checks, hoping your opponent skipped it and something be there, because you can make up way more time that way than just like the flat minute that you would save from skipping left side swamp. Because at this point, that's it. Osse's going to clear everything and then come back to it. So that's 10-15 minutes of time loss compared to 2 minutes of time loss from doing it.
As you're finishing up Ice Palace, will no doubt go back over to Dark Death Mountain, get his items there. And I can't imagine he doesn't follow those flippers. I guess it would be more interesting if they had some of those better movement items, because I could definitely have seen... I could see either one of these guys going for that lower Norfair hell run. Even if it was just high jump boots. Like, high jump boots just would change that hell run completely. Just without high jump boots and without space jump, it just makes it that much more difficult. I mean, they'll do it if it comes down to it. I don't think we're going to go out of our way to a very suit.
I'm trying to figure... This is an interesting route from Osse, where he didn't save scum the... Normally what I would do here is do right side into Shaktul, into Plasma, then reset that if there's nothing on that chain.
Yeah.
Osse might be changing it up because he's potentially one from go here. I mean, if he finds Varia too, I would kind of expect the bail here, where he would just
go to lower
bail out
Norfair,
Meridia and just go to lower Norfair. Hope it's there.
Yep, as you're gonna get his flippers and Super Bunny, gonna get that grapple beam, and I can't imagine him doing anything but Swamp Palace. He also is unlikely to do the left side first, so it'll be interesting to see if he chooses to go back in and check that.
Well, there's Morph Ball bombs. That's probably easier than the ice for Morph. Well, never mind.
Oh, and there's high jump. Okay.
I could honestly, that's as good as Varia. I wouldn't be surprised seeing a bail right here and just going ahead for those hell runs. Does 8 E-tanks a little low?
8, but he has so much ammo. Like, he could kill Ridley with 30 supers, not even use the charge beam, and have plenty for a Crystal Flash, which is one of the hardest parts. Is just
Yeah.
making sure you can get that energy refill after the Ridley fight.
Yeah, I mean, you may be thinking that like, oh, this is like more E-tanks that you have in RBO. The thing is, RBO, you have the guaranteed free refills with the
Yep,
E-tanks, which you
exactly.
don't have here. But he does have 35 power bombs. That's 3 crystal
Yeah,
flashes.
not only do you not have the guaranteed free refill, it's almost guaranteed not to be a free refill.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. Although it is, the less E-tanks you have, the more likely it is to be.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay, as you're gonna go straight to swamp, not even gonna dip TR. Yeah, I do think, best case scenario for azder is he does do left side and it's Fire Rod. If he does do left side and it's Varia, then okay, that's good. Maybe he gets into lower Norfair sooner, but I don't know that would be enough. We're starting to run out of checks in Meridia, so that's going to make things interesting.
Yeah, I mean, the Varia's got to be here. But actually, again, a little surprising that like you just at this point you just feel like Varia's here. Just go, okay, I'll just skip that and find my Fire Rod on lower Norfair. There's so few checks left. It'd be weird for Varia and Fire Rod. Okay.
Oh, never mind. There's Fire Rod.
See, this is what happens to me. I probably would have made the LN play there, honestly, and it would have made me pretty hard.
So our locations of Varia, there's only 3 possible locations left: Shack, Tool, Plasma, and left side swamp.
Yeah. Now at this point, I do expect Osse to finish A Link to the Past first. Just anything, finding anything would just make that hell run. Maybe an E-tank in GT.
Yep.
Screw attack, space jump. You could definitely do it, but you want it to be as easy as possible.
Yeah, azder, if he finds Varia here, if he does go to left side swamp, if it's there, not going to bail him out at this point, because that would probably incentivize him to full clear lower Norfair, which, to be fair, it's a very linear section of the game, so I wouldn't lose him that much time, but it's going to be a while. Would then mean he's not getting to that Fire Rod until quite a bit, because it's not in a nice location.
Yeah, azder really doesn't. I mean, azder's one hope is that Osse dies on this hour run. That's it.
Yep.
And number 2 in RPO, so he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. But even as good, even the best in the world at the RBO, it's by no means free. So he's got to execute. This is a pretty cozy loadout for him at this point. Screw attack or space jump, the only things that can make it better. But those high jumps just make such a difference.
Or just, more E-tanks. Like the supers, like it's 30 to kill Ridley, but you really need the extra crystal flash, so it's really like a minimum of 40.
Yep.
He won't have full beam because he's not going to kill GT. But I mean, charge plasma ice isn't terrible. You can get a couple extra DPS in that to save some of your missiles and supers.
Also, I guess I don't recall getting both items out of Skullwood, so there is a possibility of Varia sitting there as well.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going back there. We're.
Varia could be in. Actually, Varia's probably in Turtle Rock, honestly. So
it could be. That's a good point. It absolutely could be in Turtle Rock.
That's actually the most likely place for it. So you might not see this hell run. We'll be a little sad.
Although he's going to go mode Turtle Rock. Now, go mode Turtle Rock has a different meaning than go moding other dungeons. But do you think he'll full clear Laser Bridge if it comes to it?
I was about to say. I think no matter how good you are at that, the VAR is going to speed it up and just make it 100% free.
Okay, that's fair.
In this situation, I wouldn't go like Mimic Cave and like actual full clear TR.
Mm-hmm.
But with just how likely Vari is in here, I kind of expect at least the Laser Bridge clear. If nothing else, he's also looking for wave.
There's other good things. He can get space jump, screw attack, like you said earlier, wave beam. He won't get wave beam, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah, when I'm in this situation where I'm looking to LN hell run to finish the game, I check a fair amount of chests just for anything that's going to make it easier.
And azder is going to check the left side, so we're going to know if this is a Varia suit.
Yeah, this is the right call by azder. This is a little bit of the Hail Mary, I think. Unfortunately, just not the red item he was looking for.
Boomerang not going to help him any. And ironically, azder doesn't even use most of the boomerang strats, so so it doesn't really do anything for him.
He's got to at least do it in GT, right? Like.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He uses red cane in
Even in vanilla.
I believe so.
What the hell?
Well, because he runs low percent, so it's like an extra strat to learn.
I guess that's true. It just feels very bizarre doing that in NMG.
Okay, we're gonna see right now how much of this Ossie's gonna go mode. I think he's got the big key. Oh no, of course he got the big key the first time through. So, yeah, he's skipping the lava chest here.
Yeah, again, it's fairly likely to be in here, but yeah, I wouldn't do this chest or Mimic Cave. I could do.
Yeah,
I could be doing the big chest. That's not that long to go around, and just check that.
Yeah, the big chest isn't a bad choice, just because I mean it's an extra check, and it saves you from that very small, what is it, about 4.5% chance of the keys being laid out, so that you have to get that one. You know, if the key, if the small key is in both in the big chest and in the lava chest.
Yeah, I think honestly the big chest check here would have saved you from that small percent, and you could spike Varia. It wouldn't have been a bad call here, but I was just gonna go straight for it.
Also, I'm noticing our runners have a gold sword now. I didn't see where that was picked up. Must have been somewhere in Swamp.
I think it was Swamp. Yeah, I saw Osse had it right afterwards.
Yep. And there's a gravity suit for azder.
Okay, let's see if...
Check the last one. Yeah, he's gonna check the last one.
Again, it makes perfect sense with... Yeah, I'm not gonna find it though. So yeah, when was this already?
So we're down to, I mean, it could be Skullwoods. It could be Ped.
It could be on Trinex still. Like,
it could still be on Trinex, yep. And it could be in those other, locate. Yeah, still could be in Turtle Rock, because we have a couple, Mimic Cave.
Lava Chest. Yeah, one of the 3 locations in Turtle Rock we haven't seen.
But unless it's Trinex, we're going to see a hell run from Osse, and I suspect same thing from azder. He's gonna go do Meridia first, and he's gonna do it front to back.
So getting this 0 cycle only possible with the gold sword.
Very nice.
Could be Pyramid Fairy. I think Turtle Rock is
it could be Pyramid Fairy.
Is our red crystal, right?
That's the one sad thing. I wish we could get spoiler logs of these just to find out where those items are afterwards.
Well, apparently we could have yesterday, because Solski didn't roll a race seed. No one noticed.
Fortunately, we had the 8 people that were in this tournament are all people that I would 100% trust to not check things like that. Huh. I've never seen someone do a charge. I've never seen that before from anyone. As you're just gonna skip Mama Turtle and go straight up here with that neat little short charge to get across the Mount Everest area. Now, interesting enough, this Osse going into GT, hoping for some more nice items for SM to make the hell runs easier. You kind of almost want the big key to be in a late spot, as long as it's in a late spot that you know that your opponent also is going to get it late, just so you can hopefully get more nice items. Osse going to go to the left. Sorry, go to the right, because he did get that small key.
Now, if azder It was weird that Osse did the left sand pit first. We'll see how aggressive azder is on finding this fire rod if he just decides to bail right away. I assume he's going to.
Yeah, I think so. I think
and
he
then
has
you could
to.
just you would just kill Dragon after Ganon.
Well, he'll do one and two. Yeah, he's doing the right side first. He'll get his fire rod. So a little more efficient Meridia from azder. And he could bail, or he could just go to reset, go to Dragon, and just pick it up on the way out. And it looks like a shot of anger there. He's let's see, what's he?
Yeah, he's gonna do what you suggested. Just checking the other item. I was gonna reset and come down here at the end.
Yep.
This probably, I guess, was probably a little faster than the Ganon method.
Yeah, because
it's probably pretty close.
You factor in travel time to get back over here for Dragon, and it does make a difference. He's not going to get the high jump boots though, because I believe those were at Mama Turtle.
Yeah, they were.
So the fact that he skipped that location, is a bit of a shame.
Yeah,
so
it's going to be
he'll have a harder lower Norfair than Osse will, but
yeah, he might not even get to that point though with this lead Osse has right now. Yeah, why did he skip Mama? Oh, because he went up to top and shined? Yeah.
Like I said, I've never seen anyone do quite that way before.
I think he's just memeing at this point. That's the only thing I can think of, honestly. Man, won't be able to get the full half. He does get the halfie though. That is actually very difficult. I think that's actually harder than getting the full halfie with Hydro Boots.
Yeah.
So very nicely done by azder there. You can get the down grab halfie with that method, right? If you just shine a little higher.
Yeah. Yeah, big key's still not found, but we're not seeing any other nice luxury items for Osse.
Yeah, I mean we know Varia can't possibly be in here.
No,
Everything
Varia
is
nothing logical progression can be in GT.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if that got changed at some point. What the seeds would look like.
Yeah, I don't think it ever will get changed. There was in the early playtest, and there's the big key in Random Room. In the very early playtest, there was a seed where Morph Ball was in GT, and I think that put an end to it right then and there.
Yeah, that'd pretty much do it. The worst I've had is on Laser Bridge. Pendant Laser Bridge at that.
Yeah. Oh, there was a seed a few months ago where there was a Morph Ball in the very front of TR that the game gave you everything you needed to early, and I think it was Pendant TR as well. And then the various it was on Laser Bridge. So my comment was, TR early, TR late, because. And Osse's going to make his way up the climb. Azder's going to leave Meridia, grab that fire rod on his way out.
Just looking, I feel like bailing and just doing Dragon at the end would have been faster, but I could be wrong. This feels slow.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty close. Like getting from the pyramid to the backdoor Meridia spot. I mean, it's not quick.
It's not that bad. You just go up north and go into the warp. It's only like 40 seconds, I think. I feel like I just intrinsically think like more rooms are slower than just all these transitions. Everything just really slow everything down. Yeah, azder almost need because 2 of the LN of worst room in the game items were in that Mama Turtle room. He does have ice, can do that strat. So like there's like a pre-rolled strat for low, but you can just kind of YOLO it and freeze that guy whenever. So basically, azder would really need space jump to be in these one of these top rooms in GT. Because there's 0 chance he'd go to Ice Armorist to fight him.
No.
Which is the only thing we haven't really seen in GT. So if Space Jump isn't here, it's going to be would be a pretty rough hell run for azder, but I really don't even know how deep into that run he would end up getting. Actually, because yeah, Osse would still have to go and kill Mother
Yeah,
Brain.
Osse still has to do the hell run himself, so.
Yeah, I kind of would expect a dot done from Osse right around when azder would be killing Ridley.
Yeah, that sounds
honestly.
about right.
It's a man, like, for as much as these guys have full clip, it's still only 224, which is, I mean, we've seen Osse, I think, finish with 224 yesterday. azder finished with 215.
I know.
But this is still, this is going to be right around that sub 3 mark. It's going to be in the 50s, I think. Maybe a little less, because Osse's just about done with Ganon's Tower here. So it's going to be like 7 minutes for Turian, maybe 31, probably another 7 minutes for Ridley. Yeah, so I mean, in the 40s, actually. Somewhere around there, maybe 40, if not 50.
Not entirely sure what Osse was doing in that room. Usually you want to powder those fairies to get that free refill.
He's got.
He went to I mean, he's fine.
Red mail, gold sword, and.
But the part that got me was not that he was not using the powder so much as the fact that he just kind of got bodied by those enemies there as he didn't use it.
Yeah, that's NMG strat. You can avoid those. It's a little tricky if you're not doing it like on the regular. But yeah, that's the standard strat. He just messed it up a little bit, but he's got plenty of everything. It doesn't matter.
Will be interesting to see if azder does the same go mode Turtle Rock as Osse did.
Yeah, azder might be a little more because he's got a very rough hell run right now. Azder's gonna be a little more inclined, I think, to full clear this. Again, I still feel like Varia is fairly likely to be here. You don't have a lot of other places it could be.
Gosh, if I'm azder, I almost want to full clear. I know I'm behind. Like, I know I'm behind. There's no question about it. But I also know that Varia is in a bad spot. And the one thing that could happen is if he does manage to spike Varia out of Turtle Rock, where Osse skipped it. And Osse has trouble with the hell runs. Which, I mean, I don't see Osse having trouble with the hell runs. He's got good items for it at this point. But, azder doesn't know that. So maybe he full clears it, hoping to get that Varia suit, or at least hoping to get like a space jump, screw attack, some sort of nice combination there. Osse, meanwhile, into the Ganon fight. To the question in chat about left side swamp, we did see left side swamp. It was rupees and a boomerang, so no.
Yeah, I mean, Varia could also have Skullwoods and Pet as well.
It's Metroid informing us that Skullwoods did not have. Both items were found in Skullwoods. There's not a whole lot left.
So yeah, so Skullwoods is all just blocking Pedestal, which it could be.
Yeah, mine
could be it.
Yeah, mine to me listing places Shack Plaza, Pure Fairy, TR, Minim Cave, Smith Chain. I guess we haven't seen any of the Smith Chain.
Oh,
so it's still quite. Yeah, I completely forgot about the Smiths. It's that it's that one thing that Mitz opens that nobody ever wants to do.
Yeah, it was just Dark Death Mountain was generally a little bit more valuable first, and then finding the flippers that kind of put him on a sensible path after that. But yeah, I mean, you could have theoretically skipped gravity. This seed would have been pretty well. Yeah, with the grapple, you could have gotten.
And chat's saying that Osse checked checkerboard, and that sounds right to me. Azder having not already dipped TR, didn't have to do everything.
Osse trying to do the good strat here. Oh no, he's just trying to bonk over. Okay. You can just walk down to get the quick warp right on the edge of the Ganon hole, and it looks pretty scary the first time you see it because it looks like players are just running right into Ganon. Yeah, so alright, Osse gonna be doing the hell run. Certainly nothing we're hoping for, but really Azder's only hope is Osse struggles with this. Fairly unlikely though with this loadout with 10 E-tanks. I don't know how many reserves he has. Really, like for these hell runs, you do want one.
He's got two.
He's got two. I think he was just checking what his reserve level was. Pretty smart heads up play there. Oh, looks like he's gonna check this item.
Didn't see. Yeah. Okay, does get the jump out. Without screw attack, you have to do it with the door through the door like that. Now, yeah, in SMZ3 it was the only way to do it. I do like that change where you have the refill back in that area on the transition.
Yeah, it does. It puts the vanilla RBO strat back in. Like the refill, you think is like kind of game changing. I think the only thing the refill helps is like if you want. I think what it does, not so much these hell runs, because you're always just going to start here. But if you were to do an early like Meyer hell run, it allows you to also potentially kill GT on fairly low amount of overall health.
Also, we'll
Honestly,
note
trying to do
that
the any% strat.
yeah,
Struggling a little bit.
yeah.
Kind of surprising.
Azder, in the meanwhile, didn't check anything extra that Osse didn't check, so he's not going to be able to get that barrier suit. We'll never know where it is.
Ironically, Osse is gonna. Okay, yeah, almost having to do the ice strat there, just freezing them. Gonna have to do. He's basically blew one of his crystal flashes here, and he came in 10 power bombs down. That's actually pretty rough from him. It might have been wise actually to go to the ship first and get the full refill for your ammo, more than the health.
Should be able to make it over to Fire Fleece before he has to do this crystal flash, which is ideal.
Yeah, and he'll have plenty of time just to sit there. I mean, be interested to see if we see him farm some power bombs here.
Interesting. Yeah, it looks like he's wants to farm enough to be able to check this item.
Oh!
Space jump.
That's actually terrible for azder. It doesn't really help. Does not help.
It's nice for Osse.
Really.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for Osse, but he doesn't need it at this point. He's already gotten past worse in the game.
If Osse died on those spikes, I'd be so upset. Okay, so he's gonna be a little hard pressed going straight into Ridley here without doing another crystal flash, which means he's gonna have to farm another 4 power bombs. I kind of expect to see the save here. No, he's just going for it. Actually, you know, I completely forgot about this. Finding the regular bombs is actually really big for this hell run too, because it lets you save power bombs here, and you can do the manip here to know you're safe. I guess azder has plasma beams, so that's not that big of a deal. I know. Azder? I assume Azder just kind of go moded this. He didn't do any.
He completely he go moded. I didn't even see if he did the extra check on Laser Bridge, but he definitely didn't do any of the checks that Osse didn't do. So we'll never know where Barry is, sadly.
Yeah, I think Osse's just gonna be just too little health to be able to go straight into Ridley here, which is gonna be pretty feels bad. I mean, the 30 super fight is pretty quick.
Oh, it's quicker than its full beam combo if you do it right.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think he's got so many supers. Like right now, I would want to farm up to 50 supers, do the crystal flash, go in, then you're guaranteed to have a crystal flash coming out.
Yeah, he's going to. Here's the problem. He's kind of like this weird no man's land where he's got a bunch of health, but he doesn't have where he can't crystal flash yet. But he also has too low where he can't really.
2 power bomb drops in a row from this Zebo. So
I think that's what he wants. That's actually good for him. He needed the power bomb more than the supers. In fact, like in this situation, if I was Osse, I wouldn't be farming for supers. I'd be like entering and exiting the door to farm up power bombs off the violas. Because he's got, all you need is 40, right? 30 for the Ridley kill. Yeah. I guess, no, he needs 50 here, right? Because he's a pre-1.
Yeah, so he's got this crystal flash. Now it's going to be a bit tight. He's got extra missiles, though.
Yeah, he won't need to do the immediate crystal flash.
Okay, I just want to point out, this is a classic azder play, feeling behind doing tile room. Unfortunately, it's not going to get him anything.
No, yeah, because we've seen all the LN items. A screw attack, I guess screw attack would be the one thing. Ooh, Osse clip in the tail. Definitely not what you want to do in a hell run, Ridley, but still's got plenty of health. Finishes off. Yeah, he's got 5 E-tanks here. So you can see it took him 4 E-tanks. He could have done it, I guess, with that reserve, but have been very tight, especially without saving. Definitely doesn't where he wants to be. So he's probably going to look for another 3 supers here. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Metal Pirates farm on the way out. He also needs a couple more power bombs. You need at least one to get out. So he needs looking for like 22 if he wants 2 crystal flashes. But he really only needs 1 to get out, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, just 1 should be fine. Because this is how many E-tanks
And
he
he
would
can
normally have coming out.
power bombs are not nearly as important because there are lots of places to get power bombs on the way out. Once you
Yeah,
get
you
past
just stop at
Wasteland,
Firefleet.
yeah, once you get past Wasteland, there's nowhere to get supers and missiles.
Yeah, I expect to pause down here to...
Yeah, I think this is the place to do the crystal flash.
Either that or he could just go up to where he would lay the power bomb normally. But if you make any mistake there, you're dead. So, honestly, like, one of the hardest thing about hell runs is like just being patient.
Yeah.
The way you die is you try to... He's like, oh, I want to get that extra like 10 feet before I crystal
Yeah,
flash.
yeah,
It's
exactly.
just not worth it most of the time. Osse's even got enough health to reverse here if he really wanted to, but I don't really expect that. I feel like,
I think that
again,
I think would be that'd be really, really dangerous.
you do take more damage in that acid without Varia too.
Yes, you do.
I goaded him into it one time in just a casual run.
Yeah, I can see him. I can see him being goaded into it. Absolutely.
I was like, just do it. You got plenty of health. Just suck it up. He was like, fine. And he died a horrible, horrible death. I think that's when we learned acid did more damage without. We're like, oh, this is bad. Oh baby. Oh baby.
You can see he was farming the power bombs there because those enemies will drop power bombs at a very high percentage. And then oh hey, E-tank.
Yeah, definitely wanted one just to get through these 3 musketeers. You know, if you hit him, he would have been in dire straits. But that E-tank just made it free. Just can damage boost through all of them without a worry. My prediction of Osse finishing when Az was on Ridley looks to be pretty accurate.
Still looking pretty good.
Yeah, it really depends on. I mean, we saw. I mean, Osse didn't have too much trouble with that ice trap, but he had high jump boots, so you could do the wall jump out.
Yeah.
Without high jump boots, you do have to freeze that pirate pretty high up. I don't have a good setup, and I struggle with it if I need to do it.
So Osse will go back to Link to the Past, save and quit to the ship.
I'm never quite sure when in this transition you see the when it actually saves. So I tend to wait till I see Link or Samus pop up to do it.
Yeah, I tend to just do the save and quit, even though it's unnecessary, and then reset. Which is
weirdly enough, it is necessary after Ganon if you want to. Ganon will stay dead, but the items you get won't be preserved.
Oh yeah. No, but I mean, I'm talking about when you transition into Link to the Past from Super Metroid. Because it saves automatically on the transition. But yeah, after again, you absolutely want to save and quit. that's a must. Actually, I didn't even know Ganon stayed dead in that situation, so that's new to me.
That was an interesting way to do the speedball. You usually see players jump all the way to the top and do it at the end. Osse's got a couple of weird, like his strat for worst room in the game. He does like 2 wall jumps on purpose, and it always looks like he failed it whenever he like backed up into it. It's like that's just how he does it.
All right, this is a pretty easy Torian. We do have ice. The only thing he has to watch out for, he does not have that Varia suit, and he's probably going to stand up anyway, so it won't matter. But we have seen in the past where players will forget they don't have that Varia suit, damage themselves down a little bit too much. At this point, his lead's too big for that to even matter, but it's just definitely a talking point. And Osse will be able to do baby skip. It'll be harder without wave beam.
Gotta open the door.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, you can see. Oh, it's a surprising mistake from Osse. Usually don't see a baby grab like that.
As you're about to go into Aga 2, Osse will have to take this refill before heading over to Mother Brain. It'll be a 30-shot fight with this beam combination for Osse. He might supplement with some ammo, but he doesn't have a whole lot of ammo, so probably not going to get bothered with it. He didn't refill at the ship. Which, to be fair, when you have charged plasma, you know, refilling at the ship isn't really necessary. Does have to do the Zeb skip a little bit differently with the ice and plasma. Knows how he crouched down at the bottom before shooting it.
I wonder if he watched, because I think he didn't do that yesterday. He took it off.
Yeah, that's right. I remember
like,
that.
Maybe he watched the commentary. It was like, oh yeah. Or maybe he just remembered.
Didn't he not have charge beam last time anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered to, you know, you turn it off and never turn it back on.
Yeah, I think so.
Whereas here, you know, that you'd have 2 extra menus if you turn it off, so if you could do it the other way. There's actually there's 3 ways to do it. You can do it with a charge shot, you can do it with that crouch, or you can just turn plasma off.
Yeah, and I think it would have been better for him to refill this plasma ice fight. There's a fair amount of shots that I think the supers would have sped it up enough to make the refill worth it.
Yeah, 30 shots with plasma ice. Supers would the DPS on supers would be better. So about the same if you do 60 supers versus full beam combo. Optimally, I think it's a little faster with full beam combo, but of course optimal is hard. So it definitely would be faster with just using supers. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's small points at this point. When you compare it to, I mean, the time to take to refill at the ship is also a factor, so it probably evens out in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good like 12 seconds to fill up the ship, so yeah, maybe better just to skip it optimally. Is doing the stand up still helpful even without wave here. He'll be able to get a good bit of damage onto Mother Brain.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have a plasma, there's some worth in doing stand up. As you're finishing up Ganon, so he'll head towards his 4-way into the Lower North Fair Hell Run. I think he may be a little off. I'm not sure he's going to make it to Ridley before this is finished, but it's going to be close.
Yeah. Maybe if Osse's a really bad escape. I want to see if he at least makes it through. Hopefully he can at least make it through worst room in the game. Although even that's looking a little close here.
Yep.
I just want to see what his plan there was. We
keep checking for Varia here at Ted Checkerboard Cave.
Honestly, not a good
not
call,
a bad idea.
Honestly.
I like this. You know,
I
might as well.
Like I said, I kind of expect azder to forfeit here just because they've got more games to play. I don't think azder's going to bother playing up the string here. We might actually see a delayed forfeit just because I kind of expect a little bit of concentration during the Hell Run.
Yeah. I know.
So it might take a minute or two before he realizes.
Yeah, he's not. I know for a fact he's not one of those people that just has SRL up right in front of him all the time. So, you know, he might be keeping an eye on it a little bit more because, you know, he knows he's behind. He's not going to want to finish it. Like you say, not going to want to finish it. You already did that, Ash.
No, he's
always going for this shine spark. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah, I'm stupid.
No, that's why I was like, he's killing GT. Like, I thought it was weird he was killing GT just for this. But actually, he doesn't have an option with his loadout. Like, that's all he could do.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I think he's just gonna get to this worst room in the game right as we're finishing. So I just want him to get through that room. And then, because after that point, he'd be fine, especially if he decided to dip into Fire Fleas, gets that screw attack. Not screw, excuse me, space jump.
Space jump.
I just want to learn how to do this strat, like, sensibly, honestly. Yeah, this wall jump onto... Oh, very nicely done.
Yep, very nice. Yep, and we do see Osse getting go spark up the climb.
Yeah, azder should be able to get through Amphitheater here before needing the Crystal Flash. I don't know what his... He does have more E-Tanks. Has one more E-Tank here. Actually, I think he had... Yeah, no, just one more, because Osse got one on the way out, and they're both at 11 now. Yeah, gets through Amphitheater just fine. I'm not sure what azder's reserves are like, though. But yeah, that is going to finish it. Osse coming in first place with a 2:45.10. And yeah, azder...
He did quit right away. He was
yeah,
watching.
Right
yeah,
away.
And I think he was probably really paying attention because he knows he doesn't want to finish this at this point if Osse finishes up. And nobody found Varia. We'll never know.
Yeah, so you're seeing if they want to come in for a quick interview. They do have at least another game to play. Osse taking the first one up 1-0. Does put
looks like they're gonna join us.
Yeah, joined by both of them right now. GG's to both of you. I guess we'll just ask you both right away. The wreck ship E-Tank. You both skipped it. Osse didn't have speed at the time, and azder did. Our analysis was kind of the skip made a little bit more sense without speed.
Yeah.
Especially azder, you didn't have quite as much left. So I guess I just want to know what both of you were thinking.
I don't think speed played a whole lot to the skip. Like, it puts it in logic, but like,
well, in your case, you would have had to do the sponge bath strats. So it just made a little more sense that you skipped it. Whereas azder came in with speed, so you could just gotten it.
Oh, I missed my speed jump and did the SpongeBob bomb jump anyway.
Yeah.
azder, what were your thoughts on when you skipped that the first time through?
I felt like I got to wreck ship way too late, and that I knew it was gonna probably be in logic soon, but I waited until I actually got speed, and then I'd made a bunch of other decisions that didn't pan out, so I just decided to skip at the same time, and I figured there was a decent chance the thing I was supposed to find in ship was somewhere else. And then when it wasn't, I went looking elsewhere for what speed it was supposed to lead to, and I found the hookshot, so I figured that was it, and then I realized that hookshot didn't open anything.
Yeah, we noticed that.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah,
just do everything else, and you find so many items.
Yeah, I think what really hurt you, azder, was you did all the Upper Norfair hell runs and got nothing for it. Whereas Osse, once he got gated back down to that one location, he went back and got his myths, and that gave him a pretty good lead at that point.
Yeah, I just didn't. I didn't think that he was going to do the same thing. Like, you're always going to be in situations where it makes sense to cut a corner, but but usually the scary thing is that it's often not going to be the same corner. The runner's not going to be in the same conditions at the same time, so they're probably not going to choose the same things. So I didn't think that... I was mostly playing this seed as if he'd gotten the mitts on time, whatever that means.
Yeah, honestly, what kind of happened was you both made that skip, and then azder, you made a bunch of other skips, which you had to then clean up before getting back there, and that gap is what really was the difference. And then, like, after that, the seed was so straightforward that Osse just had basically this lead, and
the problem was,
that was
kept
it.
finding other items.
Yeah, just like yesterday.
Just like it. Well, and the other, it hurt you all. The pyramid ledge hurt you again. Not nearly as bad. Well, I guess it helped you last time. It didn't really hurt you last time.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
But that bow, Osse picked up the bow on his way to pod. You had a beautiful Mimiclip though, to get through and clear up pod, but then eventually you had to get back to that pyramid ledge to get that bow.
Decided I was going into pod either way, but then just happened to get a bow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was wondering if you were planning on pod or catfish at that point, but yeah, I mean clearly once you get the bow, you go to pod.
That seed is really bad.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Boy.
annoying.
Yeah, we have no idea where Varia was.
Yeah, that was one thing we were wondering if any of you were gonna do any extra checks in Turtle Rock, because like it just seemed like very likely it was gonna be in there. I mean, obviously both you can do the hell run, but it's always nice to have the safety blanket, I guess. Probably easily with both of you guys. I mean, if either you mess up the hell run, definitely something that would swing the seed.
I was
Yeah.
doing like major damage control, and I was just like, well, I need gravity to be at the one worst location possible that I correctly guess, which I
Mhm.
got, and
Yep.
then I need things to be on path after that.
Yeah, you needed Fire Rod to be on the left side swamp because Osse skipped that.
Yeah,
well,
that was a big thing.
that wasn't a huge difference in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I was feeling like really behind myself, so I thought maybe hook shot was something you would have missed. So I went to back first.
I was
gravity.
also hoping you missed hook shot, but I didn't like think it through in time. Because I was like, okay, maybe he finds something. Like, I think maybe he finds Varia in the bag and leaves, and I get Fire Rod in left side, which is actually needed. And then, like, maybe I'm wrong about Varia, whatever. I don't know.
Speaking of like the gravity, also you had a kind of a interesting route through Meridia. We did like the left side sand pit, and then you like went around. Was that just because you were like one from go when you were looking for, or theoretically one from go and just looking for? Like I haven't seen that particular routing. I'm not sure what the theory of it is.
It cuts out the save. Like you go left pit and then the main Meridia checks, and then right pit. It just gets all the checks cleaner without the save and resets.
Would it get you plasma though? Like you would do right pit check to a plasma at the end, or?
Yeah, that's how you'd end it.
Oh, and then exit. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And then Azure, you did the weird shine. By the way, high jump and bombs were in Mamba Turtle. Just
Yeah,
FYI.
I've never seen that Shine Spark you did before.
I assumed that was. I assume it was memeing. Like.
Well,
A little bit?
It was the fastest way to get across the room from there.
Oh, for sure, but it also means you skip the Mama
Yeah.
Turtle check. Which I mean, the high jump would have been nice.
I didn't need to skip stuff. What do you want?
Okay, I was just
That's
wondering.
fair.
We were like,
That's fair.
I was like, that's an interesting way of attacking it, but sure.
Yeah, without high jump, I would have had to keep looking for my items to skip Varia.
Oh,
Without-
you wouldn't do the charge ice.
I needed high jump for movement through Lore Warfare.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, one difference though is Azure already killed GT. So we
Which is
did a
where
double
Wave was.
take. Yeah, we did a double take Azure when you went back in there. I'm like, oh wait, no, he has to do this for the Shine Spark to get out. Whereas Osse hadn't done that yet, so he was able to. He used the strat from the door to jump through.
Yeah, that GT kill worked out super well.
It was pretty nice. It worked out well for you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of jumping in and checking that area even without Varia. When you have
especially the
open
refill
to-
now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
especially
it doesn't hurt you at all.
When you have charged plasma, it's really good.
If you're gonna reset too, it's a good time to check that.
Yeah, because then you just reset to the ship.
Anyways, long day ahead of you. Yeah, long day ahead of you for you guys.
And for Azure,
and for
hopefully
us.
game 3. You know.
Yeah, for hopefully game 3. So I'll let you guys too. I don't know if you guys have any like closing thought specifics. I'd ask you anything you're gonna change, but you wouldn't say.
No, you wouldn't want
if
to
you
say
were
that in front of your
going
opponent. But good luck
All
to
right,
both of
Osse,
you in game 2 and
earmuffs.
possibly game 3.
I'm gonna skip an item that's not hard required this time.
Yeah, a good plan. Good plan. But yeah, I think these guys are gonna take a couple-minute break. We're all gonna take a break. We're gonna have Solski card for the next one. We've been telling the next one's gonna start at 2:10 Eastern. So a little bit of time there before we get started.
Yep. And then, I'll probably be back on the call for game 3, or it might be 3 of us again, because we got Duck, me, and Maniacal. 2 of us will be back on the call for game 3 should we get a game 3. So hopefully looking forward to that, because we want to see game 3. Sorry, Osse. But good luck both our runners. It's going to be a good time.
So we'll see you back here shortly after a little break for these guys.